Oh, hello. Hello. I'm moving the wrong thing. How's everybody doing? Hey, Lucy. Hi, Brennan. Can't stay, but we'll catch the VOD. That's okay. VOD watchers have my full endorsement. There's a lot more VOD watchers than live viewers, which I guess makes a lot of sense, but objectively that makes tons of sense. But yeah, lots of people watch the VODs, which is sweet. Which makes me want to run it more like a proper live show rather than just like a show that's going to be presented like a YouTube video, rather than just one for the people who actually are here at the time. Because while I'm here, I feel like I'm catering to people watching, but most people who enjoy this are watching, you know, just like it as a YouTube video. So it feels like it should be a YouTube video for like compatible at least. In response to the engagement bait question, combo PD as your favorite deck, it's fun. The reason I'm farming engagement is not just because this is what I do. It's also because I the next video that I do, by proper video, not live stream, is going to be all of the good decks that you can be playing in standard right now that are like solid to play, like fun, interesting, but also like good for learning and are not just like complete gimmicks or like game loss simulators or game lose simulators. So Combo PD is really interesting, and I need to play it more than I have been. But will probably not feature in decks that Dullbulb endorses that new players learn, or whatever I will call it. Run aside started Bazzing. Baz is cool. Baz is the only criminal with ID text, which means something. Um, I don't really know what to look for. Factions criminal. Like this kind of it's tough at the moment. As has no text. Like as feels way more interesting conceptually because people are like, oh, I'm gonna build like an as deck and get loads of as value. It's just a credit occasionally. The best as decks are not even running like different reg crim decks. They're just very normal decks that just save you a couple credits. This is basically occasionally you'll get credits. It's not real text. Baz has real text because it allows you to do something and there's a feel to what you're actually up against. Mercury kind of has text. You basically play around Mercury in the same way that you play around other criminals, but to a slightly like dialed up extent. I guess it's extra accesses that is actually doing something, but like not it's not doing anything more than you're doing with your cards anyway. So I don't think this is a particularly interesting text. I think it kind of counts as text. Moosely Hat doesn't have text. You just build your deck in a certain way and occasionally you draw cards. That's not actually real text. Vic doesn't have text because he doesn't do anything. Zaya doesn't have text. It's just occasional credits. Like, that's not real. Sable kind of had text. So she was taken out back. And then, yeah, now we're done with standard and we're looking at rotated. All these rotated IDs that actually kind of do have text. But yeah, occasional credits, occasional like multi-access is a bit more of something. Occasional draw, occasional credits, occasional credits, occasional clicks, which is like something. But Baz actually does something. So I think Baz is not a terrible pick for a criminal that's gonna feel different and like there's a point to having it in there, but it might just be like the criminal pick could just be a vague crim list, and I wouldn't have any issue with that. Maybe a like the maybe like a vague Vic list that I've done things before with, because it's really only bad into Malleus, and that's kind of why it's not being played. On the side, I've started bezzing a bit. Oh, sorry, I've already read this. So yeah, so criminal. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do for criminal. If people are showing opinions about the best or their favorite versions of criminal at the moment, I think a lot of people have been enjoying Baz. And if someone can build a really good Baz deck, I will play it, of course, and then I will include that in the video because I think that Baz is fun, is appealing in a way that the other ones, which are just like kind of value-y, credity, drawy ones, are just not that interesting. So yeah, I was just looking at the deck list of the week, trying to think like what other ones of these are actually. Oh, we've got a new one over here. What's this? Oh, this was Hermes, just Hermes Lou with an Audrey. Okay, really, yeah, nothing interesting here either. This would not be a bad pick for decks you should play. I think I might pick Stealth Lou because it's a bit spicier, so people might be entertained by that. But maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe the decks you should play is just like the really good decks. And I just don't ignore gimmicks. It's not worth gimmicks. So would not be a bad pick for that, something like this. I think alt arts and full arts are more than just bling for our Netrunner decks. In a game, we're not competing for cash. We're literally playing for pieces of cardboard with no monetary value on the market. The alt arts we collect along the way, we serve as something really personal to me. These are our stories as Netrunner players. Yeah, not my story. Anyone can buy my alt arts for me for any amount of money at any time. I don't use them. I just have like a shoebox that they're all just accumulating in. I use proxies over alt arts for the most point. So then they go with the alt arts. Okay, so yeah, this is really just vaguely nothing crazy going on at all. Yeah, this will be a good entry. What are the deck lists of the week? Are like reasonable entries into like decks that people should be playing. Not this one. Andre has been on a big complaining arc recently where every deck he plays he like has a big issue with. This one actually is stupid. Like this is not very interesting Netrunner, in my opinion, and will not teach you anything useful to use going forward. In my opinion. Of course it's my opinion, it's my show. It's all my opinion. Andre really just hates Nuvang. He crashes out every time he plays it. He does crash out every Nuvang. He crashes out every Melius. Playing as or against Melius, he like loses it. Like I have never seen such rose-tinted glasses as when he was discussing. Because I watched the VOD from the stream that was on Tuesday. I didn't watch it live sadly because I was at the pub actually playing Netrunner. But I watched the VOD and what was I saying? Yeah, he loves Ag retrospectively and thinks Meleus is bullshit. Meleus is bullshit powerful. Like, it's crazy how strong it is. It is. I'm so much happier going against Meleus you than I ever was versus Ag Infusion. Ag Infusion was absolutely miserable. Ag Infusion made me genuinely despair for like what we were doing with our lives. Whereas Meleus U is like genuinely interesting games, interesting decks, interesting strategies, interesting board states all the time. It feels awesome to play. It's got a lot of interesting ways, like unique ways to play against it. It asks a lot of you. Maybe it asks too much of you, but if it asks any less, it honestly wouldn't be seeing much play, and I think that would be a shame because of how interesting it is and how fun the games are. Whereas Ag Infusion, man, if you're losing against Ag Infusion, there's no hope for you. Like, it's over. You will just have to sit there for so long while they twiddle around and just develop an unbeatable board state. And if you forget what they're up to for a single second, you just completely explode, much more than against Melius, which can also explode you, but you can also just play slow. Um, like Regenesis was still a thing back then too. Like this is not, yeah. I don't think I ever beat Egg Infusion the entire time it was legal without just ripping lucky singles. Yeah, it was bullshit. It was genuinely ridiculous. And it has 17 inf, which is just hilarious because that text. The fact that it was from zero, this tilted me off the face of the planet so many times. You can feel like you're getting some equity in the matchup, and like, oh, I'm pressuring them. I'm playing runner, like I'm playing criminal. I've removed some of your credits, or I've forced you to res a big piece of ice. You're broke. Am I allowed to run your remote now? Am I allowed to run your archives now? Am I allowed to run anything? Oh, no, no, you're still not allowed to. Are you on zero credits and the ice isn't rezzed? If you run, you will completely explode. So don't forget that. Like, that tilted me. So you're like, the Metropole Grid, who I am beefing with, I'm on the record, we're beefing. We'll complain endlessly about ganked being like a zero to like cost to use taxing trap. Ag Infusion cost zero to use, and that was disgusting. I guess you had to like actually sack the ice that you had to pay to install maybe, but like that was so annoying for me. With Melius U is not nearly that bad. Not to say Melius U isn't like brutally strong, or create some games that are just like shrug. Okay, my first three accesses were all bites, but like I don't know why Melius with three bites is like the done thing because we've had Glacier Jintekis around before, like whatever it was. Oh, the old one that no one plays anymore. The one that gives you a credit with the card and archives. Like that was also the same thing, but that was not usually on three bites. And I don't think it's just the recursion thing. Obviously recurring it is like fine, but I don't think you actually recur the bite that often. RH, that's the one, yes. The R and then another letter. Um no other Jinteki can hit you with the same bite multiple times in one game. Melee's recurs bites at optimal time right before access. Yeah, I mean that's the best time to get it into your hand, but it really is just for HQ and like sometimes you recur the bite, but very often you don't recur the bite. You're more than happy to recur like a Charlotte or an Anoetic Void or an Ice that you want or a Hedge Fund. Like, there's a lot of good targets. Bite is just one of them. It's nice having it as an option because more options, more good. Um, but like, I think the mental damage of hitting the same bite twice in one game because it was pulled back to HQ does feel a lot higher, like more brutal than hitting the same bite because you've spun it back, for instance. That is tough, and it is pretty miserable. And I've deliberately been playing decks that don't access that many cards from centrals because I think I am sick of just like playing with an empty deck. They did ban Ashen, so they wanted this to happen. Although I don't know if you stop playing bites because like if Ashen came back either. I was discussing this with Cable Carnage last night, actually. Like, is there anything we can do to stop Meleus from playing three bites? Because Meleus that isn't playing three bites, I think it is more interesting Netrunner. And I will give Andre this credit only. Meleus, he's wrong about. It is fun. It is a good Netrunner. It is better than it would be without it. If Meleus didn't exist, it would just be Alco everywhere and combo PD. And it would not be a diverse feeling field of decks. Because Meleus exists, there are so many things you can play. So many things. Even just in Jinteki, there are so many things. You can also play stuff outside of Jinteki if you want to. I mean, Jinteki is like the thing to be doing, and that's fine. There's not a problem with the corp having multiple awesome things to play out of it. But he is right about Meleus plus Bite is a bit of a misery engine, and going into games expecting three bites is tough. But I don't know what to do to like, because I don't think if you ban bite, you're basically saying like, I give up. Like this thing that has been fine for years and years and years and years, always been like good, not great. Because it makes the runner feel even slightly bummed out at any point, we are getting rid of it completely. Because like, yeah, I think the runners have to feel bummed out by some cards. Because otherwise, games that you lose as the corp feel hopeless. It's nice to have a glimmer of hope, however deluded you have to be for it. So if you ban by, it's conceding a huge amount of uh, emotional space from the game, I think. Um, you can't ban Melius. The idea is too cool and good, and will be around forever, and the game is slightly better for that. It's much better for that. I'll be sad if we didn't have that. Because, like, yeah, if RH was the thing to be doing, the game is not more fun. So what can we do if we unban Ashen Epilogue, it's all Sebs, which sucks, and I don't think we cut the bites. I think we still run the bites because it could hit Ashen, which is kind of funny. I Wenjong, how you doing, Wenjong? I think money is key. The fact that PE doesn't even play three snares was largely held back by Ecom. Kuban could unban Matryoshka, the AI breaker, so that the ice isn't also miserable. Yeah, I mean, you're right that Matryoshka, I assume, will be unbanned as soon as breakers get any better. They printed one breaker in Vantage Point, and it was the worst card I've ever seen in my life. No one has ever won a game with it. So, like, that's not can't currently be done because Matryoshka is like a baseline level of good, and if it's the best, like if the other breakers are like even a point below it and everyone runs dolls, things get very boring. Because I was very snoozed during the Matryoshka period of Worlds because it was just not interesting Netrunner to not look at your ice subtypes or subroutines because they were all just Matryoshka fodder. It was really boring to assemble a field of ice where the only things that matter is like your strength above 2 and your like the number of subroutines kinda. It should matter what they've got installed, I think. But like as soon as the a proper breaker suite becomes better than that, even just by a little bit, it's fine. It's totally fine to have that be an option that you can pursue. In niche cases, occasionally seeing a deck pop up that runs dolls can be a neat novelty. Perfectly fine. Which is what it was. It was kind of conceived as a bit of a joke back when we had like Turbine, Cleaver, and whatnot. But without those things, then like, yeah. Also, if you could totally run Tungsten Tailor and Matryoshka, there's no anti-synergy there, and it would be pretty good. It would make Glacier feel very good. You'd make Lion's Mane for 4 if you were doing that, which I don't think is like way better than what's possible with the current breakers, but it's, you know, it's pretty good. I also think Essa would be a lot better if you could run the dolls too. Maybe Muesli Hat would be so good. Like Muesli Hat dolls, that's bad Netrunner because that was just so boring. Nothing interesting ever happened in those games by design of like no good. But I don't think you stop playing Bite just because people are on dolls. Like that doesn't. I'm not concerned about making Melee SU worse. I'm making Melee SU stop play like give them other things to do other than playing Bite. Because it's not like they're not running win cons. They're running win cons. They're not like Hyper Glacier just Bite the opponent decks. They've got Regenesis. They're running big deals now. They're running measures. They're running, they're running win cons. They're just also running free bites because you just put them in. I don't know. I don't know how to fix that problem. Maybe it just doesn't get fixed and we just get bitten. And maybe we just take air blades. Speaking of Melee SU, which Melee SU deck would you give to a new player? Or like someone who's like, I want to get better at the game. I'm going to want to learn fundamentals. I'm going to get good principles. I'm going to play with my friends with just like a couple of decks that we kind of print out because Dull Bulb told us to online. There's a lot of good answers here. Or would it be Melee? Maybe you pick Alco, but I think not. I think Melee gives you more time to think about your life and the game. Alco is too weird and too fast. Now, I will say Melee text is unreadable. No one has ever read Melee and understood what it does. Wenjong's Meleus. Okay. Did it get Decklist of the Week? Looks like no. El Wenjong. Let me find Decklist. Search. Author name. When John. I believe you need to have the names be exact in this search. Honest Snack Hug. Okay, we've got humanoids. Humanoids are sweet. Event Horizon's sweet, and then you just score. Hell yeah, Papaya Negation's so good. Sam's over the Fuji's, okay. One Let Them Dream is funny. Has Wenjong done the math on what one Let Them Dream gets you? Because that's a very funny number of Let Them Dreams to have. Wenjong's Menace is also fast, so it is fun. Hey, Asmarine. Credits to Bridgman, okay. Okay. We got 2 snakes, but we don't care about the tags. That's fine. Empiricist? This has got to be worse than with no tag punishment. I would not run Empiricist over this. It's kind of much of a muchness, but I think the one Let Them Dream won me the final at OTG. Lucy's website says 1 more access is needed on average. No Let Them Dream is 17 accesses. 1 Let Them Dream is 18.25. Holy. That's funny as hell. What does the math change if you tick it up to 2 Let Them Dreams, Lucy? Can you run those numbers? The econ package looks solid. Yeah, this looks like a very rich list. You got the gang. The humanoids are gonna make things rip. It's kind of been greedy how like much, like the extent to which modern lists are like just expecting to play an ice and then advance the Charlotte and just say like that's my early money. That's how I make money. 2 is 19.13, 3 is 19.84. Oh, that's so much equity for just like 1 imp. 1 imp for 1 more access seems pretty solid. Yeah, that does seem pretty solid. Man, that dream is so nuts, right? It's so nuts. Well, but interesting that the first one is the one that has the most marginal utility. I guess that makes sense. In my mind, if I was putting Let Them Dreams in their list, I would just put all 3. Because either I have the int for this and I want this agenda in my deck for the protection, or I don't. And the utility that it gives you is so enormous that if it's something that your deck wants, it is the best in class. Something law of diminishing returns. Yep, I'm not sure if there is like really a law of diminishing returns on Let Them Dream. If I could run, 10 of them, I think I just would. But I don't know. Like, I'm not sure. The math is not. That's not the math that I'm good at. But I mean, clearly there is because I've just got the numbers presented to me by Lucy here. But I would run 4 for the scoring effect. Yeah, the on-score effect's crazy. Just like bottoming the Fuji or bottoming a Sam. I love Papaya Negation and Melius. Yeah, this is a good option. Okay. We're gonna break out the notes app. You know it's a good double stream when the notes app is broken out. Okay, and we're gonna take this list. And this is gonna be our recommended Melius list. Now, what else do I need? I need probably want one for each faction, but I'm genuinely not sure what I'm going to do when I get to NBN, because I don't think there's an NBN deck that anyone should be playing right now. There's Epiphany, which is actually really good, but I don't know if that's on the list of good Netrunner decks, like whether that's something that people actually would want to play with and learn with. Certainly, like, Epiphany's good. I think Epiphany's not just playable, I think it's actively strong. And no one is playing it. And I think no one's playing it because no one really likes playing it, which should tell me something about whether I should include it in my beginner-friendly, like, hey guys, welcome to Netrunner. Grab whichever one of these looks good to you. Someone might say, oh, this tagging mechanic seems really fun. Let me play the Epiphany. And then it's just like, oh, wait, this is really granular and slow. And my friends don't like this game. But maybe that's fine. Maybe it's like, there could be one granular, weird, mathy one. Epiphany is played by about 5 people. Hello, Disco Elemental. Yeah, like it's. I when I went to Reading tournament, there were a lot of people there. It was a big tournament. 40 question mark people. Maybe that's not right. It was about 40 people, and we had 0 Epiphany players. Just no one gave a shit. No one cared. Okay, what Wayland deck would we play? Because there's a bunch that are kind of the same. There's a bunch of like, I'm going to seamless launch quickly, and Zwicky would be a great option. Nuvang could be also a great option. I think Nuvang's a little high rolly. And maybe Zwicky's more consistent, which would be more fun on average. Epiphany's extremely my shit, and I only enjoy playing it half the time. Yeah. Like, I like playing it to make a point whenever anyone says that, like, it's not that good, or, like, any kind of point that I can make about NBN. It's like, well, I just turned down my volume slightly because I think I'm yelling because I'm wearing headphones. Sometimes I need to, like, prove, no, this deck is good, and that's when I play it. I don't really play it outside of that. I feel like my Melius gripe comes down to how it's framed. Any run you make may be a mistake that loses you the game, but usually the game is not capable of showing you that. Well, it's Netrunner. Every run you make should be a strategic decision that you should be figuring out, like, how much value you're getting out of it. If your runs were just, I'm going to ping, it will punish you doing that. But any good deck should punish you doing that. Decks shouldn't be built to allow for the runner to be willy-nilly and play randomly. Like, you should be making strategic runs anyway. LSU is just one amongst a list of many IDs that punish you for doing that. Epiphany punishes you from doing that. Alco punishes you for doing that. You know, all Wayland decks punish you for doing, like, runs that don't get you clear and immediate value, and, like, having reasons to do them. You know, like, I guess HB doesn't. If you want to do runs without getting punished for it, do you want to just play against, like, PD forever? Because, like, let me tell you, make too many centrals runs against PD, you're also going to lose, but, like, it's not going to be as direct. They're not just going to, like, oh, you made the run, I'm going to kill you for that. Melius, you know, you can feel silly sometimes, but you should not be making a run that you aren't willing to tank the flip unless you have very good reason to think that you know where the flip is better than they do, which can be true. Just find whatever soccer's most recent BTL publishes. I don't think it should be BTL. I think BTL is too cringe. I think it should be Zwicky. I like Zwicky. I think Zwicky has better vibes to me than BTL. Although BTL does teach like what advancing is pretty well on that as far as IDs go, I think. One of the big problems with Epiphany is that it's more vulnerable to non-games than other competitive decks. Sometimes the draw doesn't come together, or the opponent soul reads your shell game. Um, yeah, sometimes. Sometimes you get a bad draw, but I think it has more game into a bad draw than modern Alco does. Because you can see a lot of cards if your agendas get stolen. They need to steal a lot of agendas before they can win. So even if you have a lot of agendas coming up the top, partially you have the ability to fix that. You've got In-Faction Spin Doctor. You can dig cards from below that. You can use federal fundraising. And you can score. So you have ways to fix that. And as soon as they start stealing, you get counters, and you can use that to fix your problem as well. So I think actually Epiphany is a bit more consistent than that. I do think that there are cards on the runner side that can make, like if someone's playing Lou with an Azimat or something like that. Um, yeah, maybe it feels like a non-game more than Alco would. But I think Epiphany is actually pretty consistent. And I don't think you should play it like a shell game. BTL's wiki are suitable for beginners. Nuveng is significantly harder to play. Yeah, I agree with that. But I like that Nuveng teaches you the lesson of like what card advantages in this game. And that like trashing a card off the top, basically no matter what, if it's a good card or a bad card, is actually way better than 2 credits pretty much always. So I like Nuveng as a teaching tool, but the vibes on Zwicky are better, and it's also a more consistent deck. Um, Epiphany bad beats are bad. I guess draws are absolutely devastating. I don't know about Alco so much, but agree on the Epiphany non-games thing. Yeah, sometimes you get non-games on Epiphany, but like you need pretty bad flood, I think, to not be able to find any solution to that problem. Do you think any of the Flood Thule decks are real? No, I think Flood Thule sucks. And people only lose to it because they're bad. Just play a fencer and just win. It's all good. I think I haven't seen a single good Thule list. This meta or last meta. They were all bad. The problem is Econ load-bearing Megalith isn't a joke. Yeah, Megalith's not seeing that much play at the moment. I think I kind of like it in combo PD. I'm not sure if it's better than the Nikos. I think the Nikos have way better, like, more good vibes to me. But honestly, it might just be that Megalith is simply easier and better for that reason. But yeah, there's a big difference between a game where you can land a Regolith and like Epiphany, for instance, because it's kind of hard to get money. You can stick balanced coverages as well, and those are quite good. Okay. Are we really doing fun Epiphany as like this is the deck that you should be playing if you want to learn standard Netrunner right now? Like, oh, you're coming from startup or core and you want to grab a deck? Fun. Play this. Yeah? I mean, I'm not like completely opposed to it. What about the Moonpool Nebulas? No, that's not a. That actually is probably not that bad of a deck, but it's not a teaching deck. Like, it's not a welcome to standard, here's what we're playing kind of deck. And then you play Melius U, it's fine. Yeah, I am. Giving them decks that they will come to tournament and expect to see. So maybe I just don't do an MBN deck because I don't think that there are any good options and no one's playing it. So it's not actually useful. Maybe people would be sad if they like they were playing core and they were feeling good, and then they were like, oh, this guy didn't even include a MBN deck on his list. Moonpool Epiphany though. Has it been tried? I assume it has been tried. It's probably fine. One of my friends is exactly the kind of guy who would cook up a Moonpool Epiphany. In fact, I was running Moonpool in like poetry for a while because it was a good way to deal with all the flood, and it was like a good way to turn installs into winning the game. But now we have flood the market, so I don't need to do that anymore. I can just my a big board is just a one game anyway. Um, I've circled back around. We're just not going to include a MBN deck. We are going to include a Wayland deck, and it could be just like a generic Zwicky deck. We got any Zwicks here? No, we have no Zwicks. So we're going to look at... Yeah, I don't think... Like, this list is really smart. There's some very creative people who have done a great job with building out these Epiphany lists, but I don't think it's a beginner's deck. London's Nuving, also not a bad shout. Bad Pub's Wiki. It's good at teaching what bad pub is, but I kind of think all the bad pub decks are bad. But they are beloved, so maybe... Not Yeti Melius, you would give a new player an idea of basically all the relevant win cons in the standard deck besides the tag-based ones. Yeah, it does have Regenesis Big Deal and Measured. I think it is too much of a shark deck for the purposes of an introduction thing. It's slightly too difficult to play around, to play against. And while it is the best, I think like a top 2 corp deck right now, no, like, and is good to know about. I think players will enjoy just kind of playing a bit more vague. Then they can get weirder with it on their own and find out that like the weirder versions are actually better. Got to show the new players Myoshu. I think we do actually have to show the new players Myoshu, and I think like the good Nuving decks are actually playing Myoshu. It's just, am I concerned that this deck wins too quickly and is too high rolly? Because a good Nuving draw is like basically borderline undefeatable. Like, I've lost games on like turn 5 to Nuving where I was like, I knew exactly what they were doing at all points, and I simply wasn't fast enough to contest it. They had infinite money, and they just Myoshu me. Well, like double measure me because I have to contest it. Show them Basalt and Myoshu. Basalt is important to show. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to play good decks. Like, I'm going to show them the good decks. So I think Nuvang or Zwicky. Chat, I don't have a strong preference. You decide. Theoretically, Nuving can win on turn scoring behind ice. The number of that turn was not included, but it could be turn 3. Probably is the number. I doubt it's turn 2. As Marian says, Zwicky. Yeah, if you draw your seamlesses, you do just like win. You do win that quickly. You actually do. If you don't draw your seamlesses, things are a lot harder. The Zwicky group. Invisible Hands. Nuving is more meta relevant. What's this? You're not allowed to play this anymore. Hostage situation. Okay. Nuving is more meta relevant, that's true. And you can play Zwicky in core. Like, they know about this. They need to know about this. We're not playing the Skibbity Toilet, though. We're not playing the animation Nuving as either. Well, maybe we do. Is there... Yeah, we do, actually. We do play this. because it's not doing silly bad pub stuff, but it does interact with the bad pub mechanic in a way that I like. What's the problem with the reanimation new thing? I don't think it's as good as just not running reanimation protocol. But I'm probably wrong. This is probably fine. Let's take it. Let's rip it, and into the document it goes. Now, now, we've got a Kentucky, we've got a Wayland. There are more corpse in this game. There's an HB to deal with, and I assume it's got to be like seamless launch HB because I'm not giving anyone combo PD. Anyone remember what that deck list was called? I don't think it got deck list of the week, even though it was really good. The one with the insanely broken agenda suite. What's the game? This is Netrunner. Um, it's like a Yu-Gi-Oh ripoff. I'm a terrible Wayland coper, but I honestly think Reanimation Toxin is really good and underplayed. I think it's about played. Like it's Reanimation Protocol gives you a bad pub, which you better have a good reason to be doing. Um, I am not 100% sure if the value is as good as it feels like it is. Kind of similar to how Vulture Fund feels better than it actually is. Yeah, also, Yeti, can you get this off your first monitor, please? I saw it creeping on there. It's not for that. Frankly, if any of you like can see my face right now, you're doing it wrong. 2/3 of my audience either sometimes or always listen to my videos with audio. So you don't want to be caught out in the embarrassing situation. Me and Lucy are mid-game. Should I spectate and ruin everything? And she's taking a long time to think. Yeah, she does that, but I forgive her because she tells me what she's thinking. And she usually tells me all of her hand and information as well while she does, which is great stream content because I get to talk through the lines. I'm heartbroken I actually watch both my screens. You could be doing all sorts of productive stuff with me in the background right now. You only do it on stream, it's for chat. You do it against me when we play randomly as well, Lucy. I think it's awesome, to be clear. Like, I like the treating the game as an academic exercise. I love. It was like when you get into a fascinating chess position with a friend and you're not playing competitively, and you just get to you get to just soak it in for a while and talk about all the cool stuff you've got going on with your lines. I enjoy that a lot. In fact, any board game that has strategic complexity that I like discussing with people is a lot of fun to me. If you've ever played TAC, complete tangent. Now, very likely no one's ever played this, but it's an abstract game based off of a abstract strategy game in a novel in a series that people play for fun, just like in the fantasy setting. This game is delightful. Never read the books. I have read the first two books, and there's a third one that theoretically was going to come out, and I never have heard about it. So I've basically forgotten what's happened, and if it came out now, I wouldn't care. You worked in a game store and never heard about this? Yeah, this was not. It was in my games, like board game cafe, but it's not like this is not chess, right? But it's really quite delightful. The pieces are very simple. Like there's only these flat pieces and the crowns, and these are the only types of pieces. But you can position them as either walls or flat pieces. The third one called Toe, no, and it was called the Wise Man's Fear, I think was the The Name of the Wind was the first one, and The Wise Men Fear was the second one. And while the writing is good, the setting is great. Sometimes it feels like the author, I believe Patrick Rothfuss was the author's name. Sometimes it feels like he's just showing off how good he is at writing, which I don't like. But he is good at writing, so like maybe you're allowed to do that. I don't know. One second, I just missed a call. Um, oh, the books from Rothfuss. Yes, that's the one. So yeah, this game is from the rules are not described in the books, but in the books they play a game, and this is that game, um, brought to life after the books, and it's really good because it's like an abstract game that you have played enough to like be making informed decisions, even just if you've been playing for like an hour or two. But it's shared, like there's no hidden information, and the lines get very cool and creative and complicated. You're trying to have a string of these of the same color, so you're one color, the other person's the other player, that reaches from one side of the board all the way to the other, and that can be along any of these paths, right? And it doesn't need to be straight. If you can draw a line from like one, and then you get from over here, um, that counts. Which means it's a very spatial puzzle, that you can miss lines, like paths can almost come together without you even noticing it, and then you gotta play around that. Double, do you want to play some tack? We could do it right now. No one cares about the dead game like Netrunner anyway. Yeah, we should play the live and thriving tack game. That maybe I should rebrand as a tack streamer, and finally make the millions that I've been missing out on. So if you get the chance to play tack, play it. I'm by no means good. I've played it like for maybe 3 or 4 hours, but it's exactly the type of game where you discuss your lines with your opponent because you're more interested in playing out a sweet game of tack than you are about actually winning the game. That's not the important part of this. And yes, Lisa, I would absolutely play tack with you. Next time I'm in Reading, I'll let you know. We can play some tack. How about Hive and Shobu? Hive I have played one time and it felt fine to me. This one felt a bit more like just a puzzle. Despite having just gone on a rant about how I like tack, I'm not that big of a pattern matching like puzzle-y gamer. I don't like Azul type games particularly, for instance. I'm not a Cascadia fan, or yeah, that genre of game is not that interesting. And sometimes this feels a bit like that to me, but I haven't played that much of it. I'm sure there is more strategy than I'm giving to it. So yeah, take that with a complete grain of salt. I don't know about Shobu though. Let me look this up. This is a small board. I don't know this. All four of them are in the same game, I suppose, then. Your favorite abstract is Go? Go is so sweet. I'm really bad at it, which everyone says about every strategy game that they play. I used to, when I was working in an office, which I no longer do, thank God. Um, I didn't have anything to do, which happened very frequently when I was still learning the job. I would just like bring up Go puzzles and like life or death puzzles and just do them because they were the like black and white thing that looked most like it could be on a work monitor and everyone will be fine with it because you can't exactly boot up Hearthstone on the work computers, right? But Go puzzles and chess puzzles, those were okay. So I played a lot of chess, a little bit of Go, but more puzzles. I never actually did an online match. I've only played a couple games online, like in person against my friend, and it's delightful every time. Go is fantastic. Go is fantastic. Um, I want hidden info in my game. That's fair. There's a different joy to having any amount of hidden info in the game, but I think to achieve enlightenment, you need to learn to appreciate games that have no hidden info, because uh, if you can't like an ab like a game that has the same starting setup every time and no hidden info, if you can't enjoy that, then you will find yourself endlessly chasing novelty. If you can find it within yourself to look at the same chessboard that you've seen a million times and still have fun playing it, then you've found spiritual enlightenment and you can be happy forever. It'll never Your fuse will never run out. Uh, Also, Stratego, is that like a? Oh, I don't know this. This looks this looks very classic. Um, War Chest. Also, I don't know War Chest. Huh. Hive is the best board game. One thing I like about Hive a lot is that it actually is a extremely playable game. I love a game that I buy and can imagine playing in real life actual scenarios frequently. Um, what was the original question? There's no original question. This is just a tangent. I guess the question is, do you have any decks that you really like at the moment? Like that would be good to learn if you want to talk about Netrunner, but we're just talking about general strategy games. How do we get onto this topic? I don't even know. Who cares? Mahjong. Mahjong, also cool. I like Mahjong because you can play it with grandmas. Here's a Mahjong. Um, that's a bonus because I love a game that's playable. Uh, Hive fulfilled this requirement. It fits in a bag. The rules are simple. Like as much as it's not Hive is not exactly my thing. I could imagine playing a lot of Hive. If I bought Hive, I think that would be a good thing to buy because it gets play. I play the crew so much. I've got it right here. One sec. So, here are two of my most played games. I don't own very many games. I mooch off other people because other people buy games. I don't really buy stuff. This, it's like worn down. You can't see it clearly on camera, but like every part of it is like absolutely beaten up. All the cards are like used to death. I don't sleeve them and I never will. Um, they're a little dirty. They don't look fantastic. You could never resell it. Doesn't matter. I never will. Um, and the reason is this game is so intensely playable. This is a cooperative trick-taking game. I could play it for hours and hours and hours with the same group of people, barely say a word, and I would consider that to be an actively fun time for everyone involved. It's also pretty cheap. This one was actually a gift from a friend, the friend who got me into Netrunner, one of my friends who got me into Netrunner. So this is one of the most playable games. Look how small it is. Nothing stopping you from putting this in your bag when you're going on a train or something like that. Yeah, people who fuss over board game boxes, like you're not gonna make it. Straight up, you know, you're actually not gonna make it. One of my second most played game. This is the most hideous game ever produced. A Bonanza. There were like borderline no rules to this one. The entire game is just following a turn order that's written down on the on like some player guides where you just trade beans with people. And again, the box is this big. There's no reason not to bring it to places where you can play games. And is it the most interesting game you'll ever play? No. No. But is it fun? And is it playable? Yeah. There are a lot of games that are a lot bigger and a lot more reputable that I simply don't play and never get played. That one gets played. It's also got the cool hand management stuff, which is actually quite creative and fun. I've never played Hanabi, I should say. I know what that word is because I lived in Japan for a long time, but this means fireworks, yeah? Yes, I've seen this in board game cafes. I've never played it. Yeah, no idea. We have a soft copy of Sea Salt and Paper. I've got Compile, or I don't have Compile. I gave Compile to my brother as a birthday present, and I've yet to play it with him, but I have played it a few times. Um, the production on that game is really cool because yeah, small box, very playable. Lived in Japan for a long time. What the hell? Oh, there's Dull Bulb lore that you guys couldn't even imagine. You're gonna get like little peeks in. But yeah, no, I did live in Japan for a while. I worked there, traveled for a while after high school. Um, it was good. Japan's nice. I wouldn't live there again. But I would visit again. For my honeymoon. I'm planning on visiting again because there's a couple of things. After high school, I was 18, which is very funny because I like as an 18-year-old traveling Japan. I'm from New Zealand. This was when the World Cup was on, the Rugby World Cup, I should say. So they all assumed that I was an All Black. Um, so people would just come up to me and because I'm about 6 foot tall, which in Japan is very unusual. In New Zealand, very normal, not really worth looking twice at. In Japan, that's pretty tall, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, also white, meaning that like I really stand out standing on a tube in like not even like in central Tokyo, but just like whenever I'm living anywhere else. So people would come up to me and like ask where I'm from and stuff like that, and they all would assume that I was like an Olympian or an All Black. They have to play rugby. I was not buff or anything. I was just huge compared to Japanese fellas. Lure is a wonderful betting game with dice. I love board games. If you didn't notice, I love board games too. Lure game. Lure, cool. Um, how tall is 6 foot in regular people units? 180 centimeters? 181 centimeters, maybe? I mean, I also use regular people units, but most people discuss height in Imperial. They won that one actually, because like it's just way easier. Skull is the best version of Liar's Dice. Yes, that's true. Like it doesn't really matter what the best version is because the game is very simple, but the production is like exactly what it needs to be, I think, for Skull. How deep does the well go? Like you're gonna yeah, if you stick around, Double Law does just go on forever. I've had more jobs doing weird things than you could probably expect. I've lived in more places than you probably expect. Um, I've done weird stuff. I've had I've had a very interesting life already. Skull is great. Yeah, Skull's good. Other good games on the topic of like intensely playable games. You know a game I played for the first time the other day, but I enjoyed a lot? Not for the first time. I played my first full game of it for the first time, which is um, The Legends of the Five Rings. This game. And hooey! You guys talk about how like Netrunner is a complicated game, and we talk about like how it's kind of difficult to onboard people into Netrunner on the fly because the rules overhead is pretty steep, and we have it easy. We have it so easy. This game is impossible. I'm learning it. Like I've got mostly the rules figured out, but uh, wow. One of my friends is working on the like NSG version of this, and so it's like the fan continuation of this because this was also discontinued in a similar fashion to Netrunner, but it will never be like Netrunner is because the Netrunner new we can get new blood into Netrunner. There will never be new blood in L5R. It's too tough. I am the new blood in L5R, but I'm different. My girlfriend and I played L5R once. The rules are crazy. And my friends worked on a new rules document that has to work differently because you need to explain future concepts before you're finished explaining what you're currently discussing. Because you're often like bidding for things that don't matter until like later in the game. You're playing cards that don't matter until way after they've come down. Like really tough game, really interesting strategic game, really tough. Slay the Spire board game is fun for co-op. Yeah, I like it. I've played a lot of the Slay the Spire board game. I've played a lot of Slay the Spire. If you guys ever want to see a Slay the Spire on stream, technically that is something that could happen one day. I'm not that good. I'm like, I'm me, but I am not that good at Slay the Spire. So if you're coming from watching like Job streams, you're going to be sorely disappointed at my win rate. But if you're coming from watching Northern Line streams, you'll probably be okay with it. Slay the Spire board game, I soloed to Ascension 13 on 2 characters. That takes a lot of time. I would struggle to play that much of it on my own. I don't ever play board games on my own, by the way. So like, I love these games. I never solo board game. If I were to solo board game, I have the one that I would play, which is this one. Here's a shout out. You guys ever seen this one? No point in my camera being small for this instance. This game is the nuts. That's Fate of the Fellowship. It's a Lord of the Rings cooperative pandemic-like game. Uses similar rules as the pandemic system. So Fate of the Fellowship. Hooey. It's really good. It is the right difficulty with different difficulty modes. It doesn't have like it's got variable games that like different objectives to complete, so it's massively replayable, but not in like a oh, you can play the same game with like slightly different rules. It's replayable and like I'm excited to see what the enemies do this time. It is just so good. Also, yes, it's a mirrored image so that you guys can't even read that. That's the pandemic upgrade plus reskin. Yes, it is, but it's doing a bit of a disservice to call it a pandemic like, because the thing that's similar is that at certain points in the game, the cards that have come up get reshuffled and put on top of the deck. In every other way, it's basically completely distinct. The rules are pretty different, and the enemy AI is different enough. And yeah, it's just so delightful. I haven't played it solo because I don't play solo, but I have played co-op with my fiance. I've played it with my family. It's easy to teach. Playing as these characters is fantastic. I don't like big box games, but I couldn't resist Slay the Spire. Yeah, I think unusually they've done a good job. I'm not a big box board game guy. That's pretty much the biggest I have. If I want a bigger, I go to a friend's place and play one of their copies. I wish I had the Lord of the Rings bug. I just don't. If you're from New Zealand, you have to have it because we made it. In fact, I grew up just near Hobbiton. This actual area, this was like a couple minutes drive from my house. So I've been in and amongst all this. This is the actual set where they filmed the Hobbit stuff in the Shire. And it is, if you like Lord of the Rings, it is worth going here if you come to New Zealand. I read The Hobbit and thought it was excellent, then I read the first Lord of the Rings books and was thoroughly underwhelmed. Yeah, I mean, I can see it. Have you watched the movies? Because they are genuinely the best movies. Like, they're not my single favorite movies because that's really, really high bar, but they are all of them are in the top my top like 15 movies ever. All of things slow burn takes time, that's for sure. But like it's kind of delightful at every part, I thought. I watched the first Lord of the Rings movie and didn't like it either. Wow. Have I seen Peter Jackson's earlier films? I would need to look up what they even are. No, probably. AI mode. Tell me. IMDb, tell me. Known for bad taste. Heavenly Creatures, I believe I've heard about, but not watched. King Kong, I probably watched because this was released in 2005, and I think everyone's watched every movie from 2005. The first Lord of the Rings movie is the best. I kind of think they're all so good and so like in such a svelte package. I don't have a favorite. I they're all just like great for different reasons, astonishingly cool for different reasons. If you want to learn about like filmography or like props, I've been to the Weta Workshops studio where they made all that stuff. I've got a bunch of friends who work for Weta Workshops as well, who worked on things like that. Um, and it's really astonishing what they did to make it, and the effect is that it looks and feels so cool. Did watching the extended cut help or hinder my experience? Like if you didn't enjoy it, then watching slightly less of it might have made it a bit more palatable. If one of the things you didn't like about it was that you had to sit on the couch for too long, then yeah, I mean, don't watch the extended cut, I guess. For me, it's like I want to see everything that they did because everything is so delightful, but I understand like there's nothing I don't think the extended cuts are like so much better for first time viewing than the other one. So you don't miss out on anything too important. I watched back to back the extended cuts. That's the decision I'll not make again. Yeah, I had back to back in the same day. So that's an insane way to consume media of any kind, regardless of quality. I watched them over a holiday with my family recently. Last Christmas, we were all holed up in like a chateau in Switzerland, and I brought the game. I brought this like the Fate of the Fellowship board game in my luggage, so me and my siblings would play it during the like evenings, and then we would watch one of the movies, and we did like yeah all three of the movies over a couple of weeks. It was a marathon in a cinema. That's pretty awesome. That's probably a fun and memorable experience. That is too much sitting for one day. Siblings the law. It's not unusual to have siblings. It is unusual to have the number that I have, which is three. I think that's quite a lot of siblings. Um, of which two of them live in London. None of us were born here. You also have three siblings, and they're not Netrunner champions. Sad. Well, mine aren't either, but they will be. Well, one of them has the chops. The other two don't. But that's okay. I love them regardless. Um, yeah. Anyway, what were they doing? Talking about games. Clip it. If I can convince him to play like a little bit more, he can do it. He's got the same genes as me. Dex, yeah, it's actually a Netrunner stream. You guys know that? Actually, who cares? Who gives a fuck about this? My brother's probably Yu-Gi-Oh champions. No, but like I know that he could do it because he was like my first card game, like modern card game, is like Hearthstone. And I showed him Hearthstone. He also liked it in the same way I did and kind of improved at a similar rate that I did, just like behind me because I was older. He's a younger brother and was also pretty good at that. So there's no reason to think he wouldn't be like as good at Netrunner. I went back to the One Piece card game locals for the past 2 weeks. I love it when people play multiple strategy games. I think it's completely fine to just to say like Netrunner is my one and that's what I have time for and that's how I spend my life. I think it's pretty sweet when someone like plays Netrunner and also plays other stuff. I think that's a good way to live your life. I've heard that my interaction with the One Piece card game, I am the number One Piece skeptic. I think the show is not for me, and that's with having like tried to watch it because everyone tells me it's really good, and then it's nice because then you don't need to respect those opinions anymore, or those people even. But I've seen people playing the One Piece card game at local game stores, and I can tell you, they're having a fucking blast. So you'll never hear me speak little of the One Piece card game because I have physically seen people get like amped up, physically in person, excited over playing a game and resolving a game in paper play. And that's what I want, man. I want like that is what it's all about at the end of the day. So like yeah, it must be at least okay if it can evoke that reaction. I think it's probably not like it's gonna be too expensive for me. I like games that don't cost me money, but um I work in LGS. I've literally played everything you can imagine. Not tack. I've, I've got you there. My brothers were better. Your brothers were better? Mahir? Oh, sorry. I did okay at Yu-Gi-Oh! Regionals way back and won some locals, but your brothers were better. We'll get them a Netrunner. We need some more meta development on the runner side because holy shit, no one has adapted to anything and they're all losing. All the runners are losing and no one has tried to fix the problems. So get them in here. We need more neuroplasticity. If they're older, maybe that's too late. But you're young. Um Hermes Lou is winning. Hermes Lou is going to stop winning because it's going to become watered down and it's going to not just be the top players playing it. But like Hermes Lou is pretty good. And Hermes Lou is exactly what I'm talking about. It was like it has made a non-zero effort to adapt to the meta because Hermes is useful against combo PD and melee SU. And you should fill your decks with cards that are useful against combo PD and melee SU. Like just just shove them in. Grab eye for an eye, shove it in. Burner, shove it in. Like if you just keep jamming cards that are good against both melee SU and um, I guess eye for an eye is not that good against melee SU. I'd be very scared to play that. Um, but like yeah, put cards in your deck that are good against both of those decks, and you'll do pretty well. My brothers are mostly fallen out of IOL card games. I mean, one is a decade older. Sad. Yeah, I think I'm in Netrunner for the long haul. I don't really see why I would stop doing this, but also I probably thought that about other games that I've played as well. Um, but yeah, I am optimistic for the longevity of my experience with the game. Um, Cup is also okay at the moment. Yeah, Cup's okay. Cup's okay. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I would speak too highly of Cup right now, and I'm not sure why. It's just kind of annoying if you're playing against melee SU and you draw the Cup. It's like, do I really need to install this and then like go and get something for it and then go into HQ and then they know I'm coming into HQ and then I'm seeing lots of cards in HQ, which is scary. I don't think it's saving a lot of credits. Like Ob is not around, and I liked Cup against Ob because it did two things that you really wanted to do at a time that you really wanted to do them. You just burn it to damage against melee SU. Yeah, I like Cup against combo PD. That's true because it is both pressure and econ and kind of a win con of itself if you can grab the right card. Tailgate does half of Cup, yeah, but I'm not running Tailgate. And I also don't know why I'm not running Tailgate. I assume because... I don't know why I'm not running Tailgate, but I'm not doing that. It does do half of Cup, that's true. Cupping PD is hilarious. Yeah, I've seen them do it, like... I've seen board states where the only Flood the Market got cupped and PD still comboed out. or could have still comboed out. I think they ended up messing it up, but they could have. Tailgate is so bad because you draw on turn 3 and it's blank. I agree with that. I think it's kind of hard to play against melee SU, and I don't want to spend 3 on much of anything. I've burned 2 fully ups to the bottom of R&D and they had no spin, and they won anyway. Oh no. Another combo player just won after failing the combo. In a tournament, just end a turn. 1, 2, turn 2s later. Yeah. Sometimes, like, I think the combo PD is so good that you can consider your secondary win condition is just hoping that they mess it up. That's most runner cards. Yeah, that's true. Maybe that's too high of a standard. Not even Muesli Hat is playing Tailgate. Yeah, not even Muesli Hat's consistently playing Tailgate, which I think is... I don't know. I don't want to give Muesli Hats any advice because I don't actually care to see more of that boring ass lady. I had a goal in mind for this stream, and I've achieved an astonishingly small amount of it. But I appreciate people chatting with me, of course. Melius and Nuva are locked in. These are done. HB means PD because it's the only one. Apparently. Guys, you guys remember when I was hopeful for poetry, and then it just like didn't work at all? I could probably revisit it now that Seb is gone, but it's just Lou. I don't know. It's gonna be hard. How good do you think Muesli Hat actually is, though? Fine. I think bad into the bites and not in a way that being good helps you, which is a bit of an issue. It's okay to lose matchups if you don't lose to bad players playing that matchup, but it's not okay to lose a matchup where you lose the matchup and also you can lose to bad players playing that matchup. I think that's hard. Jeff said, if I took Crim to a tournament, I would expect to be fine. And I'm like, it depends on how much combo PD shows up. I think it's just blue sludge. It is blue sludge. How I feel about it, I'm splitting into two. Do I competitively think it's good? I think it's definitely fine. It can't be bad. It's just some good cards in a pile and then it draws them. It can't be bad. It is at least fine. I think it will not get any unexpected performances. It will not carry you to wins that you wouldn't have gotten on some other decks. But it's okay. It's probably better than like Az and Vic. So it may be the single best criminal that you can play. But that is not inspiring to me. Coming from a Crim and Joy, I don't like current Crim. Yeah, current Crim is not feeling... I don't feel the need to do anything spicy in it. I just want to play Red Crim and it feels boring and bad. And I feel like I'm losing games. In ways that I don't have that much fun doing. So I've just stopped playing Crim at the moment. Because, like, they got no cards. The new Crim cards are some dog water. How do I, like, look at cards? Sets, vantage point. Yeah. Vic kind of sucks, unfortunately. Compliment sucks, Sellout sucks, Tailgate's not great. Borrowed Goods sucks, Votary sucks. Baker, no one's really made it sing, I think. People have done things with it, it's fine. Underdome sucks. So, like, I want to play Red Crim. Well, great. You'd play exactly what you were playing if you were playing Red Crim before, while the corps have gotten a lot better. Transfer is not hitting the same right now. Transfer is feeling like bizarrely cuttable at the moment, which don't cut your transfers, but man, in Elevation, transfer was like game-warpingly strong. Vantage point, it's like, I'll take that, that's fine. I'll duck that, I'll figure that out. Like, transfer is not hitting. You're absolutely right about that. Borrowed Goods is a card. Borrowed Goods is a champion's card. Well, no, it's not literally a champion's card. That's a defined thing, but it is. A second at the Sheffield CTK card with 1 Borrowed Goods. You take that back. No, it is dog shit. It's disastrously bad and almost hilarious that it got printed in the way that it did. But like, I guess there has to be some bad cards. It's just a shame that they all were for Runner and they all were in the same set. Um, Criminal Haven, Wisconsin went from 63% crim in the 2025 megacity to 17% in 2026. Oh no, the recession indicator. I said that when I saw transfer, I tried to tell them that 3 credits doesn't matter. 3 transfers is less credits than 2 doofs. Everyone told me that transfer was better than doof. Transfer is not better than doof. There is no doubt in my mind about that. But I think people were playing transfer slightly wrong. The commitment on transfer is lower than doof. Doof, 2 clicks and a credit up front. If the run is unsuccessful, you get nothing back. Transfer, you can just play transfer. Like, it's totally fine. And like, if it's unsuccessful, who cares? People are like, I think, playing transfer as if it were doof, as in like, if these don't all land, I don't actually have a game plan. That was what I was planning to do with my deck. I think you can kind of throw them out. But also, if you're just throwing out cards and say, and there's like a Samak on HQ and there's nothing else happens, maybe that card is not good. I'm gonna grab a glass of water. You guys don't leave. Don't plummet. Okay, everyone's still here? I should have put on some like cocoa melon. You can't take your eyes off the ball these days. Baker is probably the best and it's barely good. Yeah, I don't like having to jump through 2 hoops to do what I want to do with 1 hoop. Sneak Door was very elegant and svelte card. I don't think it was a problem. I think it was exactly what it needed to be. And now we've got a card that is like, now you have to be doing exactly this in order to play that, to do the same thing as you were doing before. It's like, oh, I just don't want to. Like, you're just making me do things I don't want to do. I was going to talk about how Sack Zone Expansion is the best card ever. Well, it feels really good now. Now people are going to tell me that I was wrong about rating it so lowly, but I was actually 100% right because it only became good after Offworld Office got banned. Excellent suggestion has been made. Here we are. I'm getting an intro on the damn Subway servers. There you go. Thanks. Now I can concentrate. Yeah. Now we can keep discussing Netrunner decks, and people will not just leave. You can go make dinner now. Where were we? Is this the double just chatting stream? It's turned into that. I had intentions to both get a list of all the decks together and also play all of them, but it's very rapidly looking like that is not going to happen. Hot tub stream when? I mean, I would do anything for views. I am playing the most miserable game of Netrunner you will not believe. Okay, guys, Subway Surfers off. Ewan, turn off the stream. I'm gonna watch your game. We're going in. I must see what Not Yeti describes as the most boring game of Netrunner ever. I've been booted. Holy. What the fuck is this? Oh man. See, never speak lowly of someone. You don't know what they're going through. Bo's in my chat and we didn't see that he has his demons were. We didn't see his demons. He's got one credit, brother. It's actually like fine though. What the hell? Two Airblaze counters have been used. I don't even see where that's possible. Stavka? It works with Stavka, I think. When you res this ice, you may trash. But that doesn't work. Hafun? No. Anyone know where these Airblaze counters were even used? How is that possible? Zato Grid? It worked with Zato Grid? I don't... What the hell? Okay. So, our hero can never get into this remote server ever again. Can technically run HQ using the Chesva credits because you can spend one on the end of run here and one over here. So it can always run HQ. We'll never get into R&D ever again, probably. Although it is technically... Well, there's 4 cards left in the entire pool. Technically possible, not going to happen. So it is just... He's allowed to run HQ for 2 cards every turn. And if anything happens to change that equilibrium, he can never see a card for the rest of the game. How is this measurable? This is peak. I can ban you. I can time you out. Because I consider this ob. Apologia. Oh, and he wins. He's the GOAT. He's actually the GOAT. Turn 26. 104 credits gained. 135 credits spent. 13 unique accesses on Mercury over 26 turns. You want to talk about that? These runners complain about board states they're winning on. Go rewind the last like 10 games of Andre playing any deck that he doesn't like and see how many of them he wins. Someone needs to do the math on the ratio of games that Andre starts, says I'm going to concede, I think, and then like immediately wins. Yeah, basically toughen up. This is good gameplay. I don't know, I think losing this game is a choice, right? Because any effect they can put any ice here, literally at all, it doesn't matter what it is, immediately wins the game. Even if you overinstall the Fly Swatter to do it or use an Obrock to do it. Now, it may be that there are no ice left. There's 2 cards left in R&D. There's 2 cards left in R&D. Damn. What's going on, man? Look at my game. The corp is, yeah, the corp is down. I didn't notice the 2 cards in R&D. That's very funny. And there's like no way. 3 points is a very awkward number of points as well. No measures? Yeah, just not unmeasured, I guess. Oh, it's a Plutus list. It's a Plutus list with no measures. The boat is making me regret quitting smoking. Yeah, I mean, it's worse now, so I'm seeing less of it. It's still miserable, but like, it's less miserable for me because I spend less time being miserable because of it, because I play against it less. So it's okay. Anyway, we've accidentally wandered back into the realm of actually talking about the game that everyone's here to watch. Sorry about that. Here you are. Okay. I still haven't found a PD list that I like. The objects are now all Glacier because you banned the cards that made the ID do anything. ID doesn't deserve to do anything. You don't deserve anything. Thank God I was struggling there. Yeah, sorry. That required... I know that was tough. I know that was tough watching actual JNet gameplay. But I'm here for you. Okay. Now, I'm not a great Firefox user, so I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to get this working, or like, yeah, I guess I could half screen this. I don't know what the best way to do this is. There we go. Okay, where were we? I was looking for PD lists. Click twice on the video to do picture in picture. Is that how it works? That doesn't sound right. I thought clicking twice on the video stops it. That full screens it. That's not picture in picture. Mini player? To kind of like bring that into other tabs. Oh, right click twice. Sorry. Right click twice. Am I crazy? Right click, mini player. And then I can just like go to other tabs. Can I bring it across? No. Oh, I can. Here we go. Got it. Oh, you guys see how like technologically illiterate I am. The fact that the stream is up at all is a damned miracle. Okay. Where were we? We're looking for PD. Not PD. Precision design. Hasbyword. Architects of Tomorrow. Precision design. Yeah. Here we are. Deckless with this card. Express train. Trains rights. OTK PD. What times we live in, hey? Cowardice? Yeah. Yeah, this is the one. This list is really good. This is the right one. I don't know who's Nike Ride. I don't know if I know this user. But this is a strong list. Yeah, this agenda suite is actually evil. Scrubs coalesce to a very similar. Yeah, once you've seen this agenda suite, or once you realize that this is possible, the rest of the cards kind of fill out themselves. You don't need the cultivate. It's not the best card in the deck. It's just like the rest of the cards you just put in because they're basically what we were doing before. In the old times before rotation. So I don't move my camera so you guys can actually see the list if you care. So let's take down this one. I like it. PD. So yeah, this makes sense. And now we've got decks for all three corp factions. I just ran this counter deck last night at our casual tourney, went 2-1 win with corp games. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's classic. It's enjoyable. It's fast Netrunner. It's good Netrunner. Just tuned in. What's happening right now? Oh, you've missed a lot of not Netrunner. You've missed a lot of Dull Bulb lore and talking about board games. I am concocting a list of the best and people's favorite like standard decks so that I can make a video that just tells people, okay, welcome to standard. Here's the deck that you should play that you will have fun with and learn the game properly with. So we've got the court faction sorted. There's nothing more really to address there. We've got all of them. So we're gonna now start with Runner. You picked the wrong Meleus. Your Meleus list was discussed, not Yeti, and I think it's too good for the purposes of our testing, like of the video. I think it would if I were to give people decks, that one would be the best of the group by a margin that it means that all the runner decks I would have to pick would need to be crushingly strong decks that would be difficult to pilot, and it wouldn't be a fair environment in the context of the run decks that I'm realistically going to be picking. So there you go. I'm not ignoring the fact that it's a really good list. I've said to you, I think it's a really good list. I think it's too good. So, yeah. Every time I say I'm not going to give you an inch, hey, I end up giving you way too much. Now, there's also in this game runners who run at the corporation. There are 3 runner factions. Where do we start? Any votes for who I start with? Anyone have any preference? Anarch? Done. Buckethead Band's got in there. Anarch is a faction that is basically the only one you're allowed to play if you have a look at statistics not from Sheffield. It's just going to be, we already basically got it, right? We already picked out the Reglu that we wanted. This one. This is an orgy list. I don't know if I want orgy list. Sure, we're going to pick 3 Hermes decks in all factions. That is not... Well, I mean, possibly true for 2 of them. I doubt I would play... I just don't want to play Hermes and Shaper. It's not like that. I mean, you probably could, but that would be a silly thing to do, I think. Do you guys think... is Audrey and Lat even good? So is Audrey in these decks even good, or should people just be doing Reg Breakers? Is this for combo PD? Because none of the deck lists, like corp decks I picked, were asset decks, so I'm not sure if this Audrey is going to feel like a very sensible card to play with. Are there asset decks that run Hermes? Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, like you need if there are asset decks that are running Hermes, the game is in a very scary state because ESSA can steal agendas in a very unfair way, in a manner of speaking. Currently, ESSA kind of has to run Marrow because it gives +3 hand size, and in order for ESSA to play seriously for a long time, you just got to run Marrow. If ESSA had a different way to increase hand size that didn't require them syncing their console slot into Marrow, you would play Hermes and it would be extremely good, I think. Maybe like, yeah, concerningly good. And maybe that's why Hackerspace is so bad, if you follow rumors. Is this different from the series Neon Static are doing at the moment? I'm not even familiar with what they're up to. The game in the right corner is stressing me out. I can make it smaller. Oops. Okay, it's gone. True Shapers don't need the clutch of Hermes. You just play. Shaper doing anything for drip econ. Shaper's running Kaiko. I think that's pretty sweet. Yeah, like this is just good, obviously. It's just got good cards in it. It can't be bad. I'm going to quickly review if there are other deck lists that are more Stealth Lou. It can be bad. It has 46 cards. Oh yeah, this one's the big one has 46. Yeah, that's too many. Get rid of it. No one's done a more interesting, like a different version of this deck. I still just need to pull up Not Yeti's fucking stealth loot, like regular loot deck. Like this is the easiest deck to build in the world, and only one person's actually published it. Not Yeti. I've been physically cutting and sleeving your neon static starter decks. Good stuff. You'll give him too much. He doesn't deserve all this. Stealth Lou, tone negative, hides his own deck. Um, look, we're buddies. I got robbed, by the way. I'm happy about it. You know, I'm happy I got robbed. But this did not get deck list of the week. This one did because I won. But it's all good. It genuinely is all good. It's already published. Who needs to publish another? Yeah, everyone's so embarrassed they're playing like Reg Lu that like they don't even bother. Like, oh, it's a couple cards different from the one that everyone knows about. Uh, is Neon Static? I don't watch as much Neon Static. Is Neon Static also doing like a recommended deck lists series? Chisel Lu might be a fun shout, but it might be too complex. It's too. It's both not that good without Ashen, and not like maybe not teaching like good enough fundamentals. Honestly, the Stealth Lu deck is probably not that bad of a shout. It does perfectly fine into all the deck lists we've listed so far. Maybe it loses to the scoring PD because it's not fast enough. But I do have this list. Where's Smooth Poop? Am I crazy? There it is. Dog, it's just the Reg Lu. Why are we acting like it's anything else? The Neon Static series is more Baby's first standard deck. They aren't based on real decks. I see. Okay. This is like both Baby's first standard deck and also these are what people are actually playing. Like seriously. And you could bring this to your tournament and you will have fun and you will not lose anything because of the deck. You'll lose because you're bad. Yeah. Smooth Poop. This is the same as my regular stealth. Um, you need a drink to get through runners. Yeah, I have. I have beer. Maybe I need a drink to get through the runners. I'm gonna put a beer in the fridge because I don't think I've got cooled beer. Baby's first combo, PD. Baby's first Mega Magic. Uh, yeah, we're not doing those. Why are we watching this? Is this some secret streamer tech I'm not familiar with? Because look, if I'm not on the screen, what people are immediately going to start scrolling. Okay, I'm competing with Instagram Reels here. I'm competing with YouTube Shorts. It's not easy. It's a dog eat dog cutthroat world. Um, so I'm home. Survived my bike ride through the city. Time for beer. Cheers, Esmerin. I will drink with you when my beer is cold because I didn't have any cool and ready to go. But I do think a beer tonight would be will be quite delightful because I've got time tonight uniquely. I'm in no rush, so I can have a beer. It's already 9. Goodness me. I watched a couple of episodes of Succession after work, so I started streaming a little bit later than I would have otherwise. So I guess that makes some sense. Um, so it's brain rot as a service. Yeah, if I leave it running too long, I don't know if I get like in trouble of any kind, but like probably not, right? Um, okay. What else has I missed? Davs's Lou with a mix of with a mix of chisel and reg breakers. Okay, that could be a consideration. Um, yeah. So we're already going to have Hermes being explored in the criminal list, whichever one we end up picking. Succession is good. Yeah, it is quite good. I've just finished the first season. It's good. Um, I've also just finished the first season of The Last of Us TV show, which was also good. My fiance was not into Succession, so I'm watching it on my own now. I'm going to submit Smooth Poop as my option for decks that people are playing and you will not lose in tournaments because of the deck, you'll lose because you're bad. Philosophy. Is that just because it's mine, or is that fair? When I'm coaching people, if they're playing this deck, I'm pleased because it makes my coaching very easy. Because if you're playing badly, it will show quite clearly. If you're prioritizing the wrong things, you'll lose. If you're not running the threats, you'll lose. Put one tread lightly in Yeti's Lou. I mean, it's... I need to cut something. I played it at Madison and went 2-0-1, and I'm bad. So I think that's a point in its favor. Hell yeah, I think that's very reasonable. Well done. That's not a bad record at all. Yeah, I think this is what I tell people that have new players, specifically like, maybe not like I'm literally learning the rules of Netrunner, but I'm learning actual standard, and I don't want to be playing the most boring thing ever because I think there is such a thing as too boring. But apparently people are not finding this too boring. People are not finding this too boring because everyone is playing it. Everyone is playing this. So it's clearly not too boring. But the Hermes tech is for combat PD, which isn't in the pool of things that we're recommending. Why not? Why shouldn't I have one for myself, hey? One of my decks in amongst it. Okay, to the notes app. We're doing this. You guys can now pick out the next faction. TTT is just turbine error all over again. No, it's like it's having a kind of similar effect in that like Leo is no longer played, and I think that's kind of just because of Triple T. Um, so it's like it is having an effect on the meta similar to what Turbine was pressuring, but I don't think anyone actually decided that everyone should just be playing small ice because of Turbine. It was just like a good card. I don't think it actually warped that much. It felt warping when it was played against you, but when I'm deck building, I'm rarely like, oh, this deck runs a bunch of big ice. I just shouldn't care about strength because of Turbine. Like the threshold, like, whereas Tungsten Buzzsaw is like the reason why I'm not playing Vampy. Vampy saw more play before while there were more ice available. Isn't that strange? Vampy saw a lot of play. Um, it just meant that ice didn't matter even more so than usual. Yeah, and I don't think Tungsten Tailor has that kind of motion. You know, Boto is still 5 strength, Van is still 5 strength. You know, Big Wig Anarch is getting to be that way again. Yeah, I mean, you can get it up to that way if you work with like leech counters and tungsten. You can do it. You can get to like, I'm just breaking subroutines. Hell, I play Pudma and I'm just breaking subroutines all the time. Vampire's fine, you're just cowards. I think it's actually not fine right now. Um, it's actually not fine right now. Uh, yeah, okay, so Lat was suggested, and Lat will be obliged. Well, a shaper will be obliged. Let me review. Let's have a look at factions. No, not criminal. Hmm. Hmm. Well, it could be Arasana. It really could be Arasana. I think Arasana's pretty good. I think she's kind of tricky to play properly. It could be Rat Lat. It's not going to be Anacam Lat. So it's not going to be like Audrey Anacam Lat. I don't like I like that deck. I don't love it. And I don't Chisel Charm Ari. I've been trying to make that work. I found it to be difficult. To have it make any sense. That's Buckwild. Shaper has enough complexity anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be like a deep dive list because you should like a deep dive's an exciting card. It's cool to read. No way, it's Ari. New players like Ari a lot, and I think Ari's pretty good and underplayed and fun. Specifically, I always recommend people Chunky Seals list, which no one like is not showing up under the top deck lists. I guess we'll just do this forever, but um Awasana good, first at Reading. Districts. Maybe we just go to Chunky Seals profile and find a later version. But this is good stuff. Like this is really strong. It's more modular, it's powerful, but it's I think this is complication wise, I don't think it's for a newbie. What here is actually complicated? Awasana windows, yeah. But like you gotta learn them. They will actually teach you good like useful things about the game if you do learn them. You will and like it allows you to face check in a way that's kind of got baby like mitts on it, right? Like oven mitts on it. In that like you are, you know, interacting, you are jumping into the unraised ice and then you find out what it is, but you don't actually immediately lose the game when that happens. There's just varying degrees of disasters that can happen. Money in the stake is tighter than an Anacamlet, and this is Chunky Seal's more recent list. Yeah, I'll find Chunky Seal's more recent list. Um, these are not chronological, to my knowledge. Or maybe they are, and I'm just silly. This is the most recent one. I guess it's by likes. Uh, Ari is money tight. That's going to be a learning curve. Even Chunky Seal says that Ari's one bad run away from losing, especially against melees. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. There's no argument. Like you are one away from losing, and that's going to be tough for new players to handle. This is also on a Hermes, which is like we always did have 3 Hermes decks. Easy to end up in a UAV econ hole. Yeah. That's definitely true. But like, if we pick, we've got like infinite econ in the Anarch deck, just crushing late game money. I don't know what we're gonna do for criminal yet, but is it weird for Shaper to have some like modular econ? We could like change the list and then give it like easier econ, give it like a telework contract or two. Sleepers, Anik Hamlet might be the most approachable. It's approachable, but like I actually don't expect to play against Anik Hamlet in tournaments. Is that strange? I expect to play more against Arasanas. I guess there's not technically many, but I think there will be soon. It's good. Replace a Hermes with a fermenter. Having no fermenter in here means it actually is kind of poor, huh? Um, if you want to teach fundies, face check safely is kind of counterproductive. It's not bad fundies to face check, and it's not bad fundies to face check with the plan B. Um, it's good face check to find out instances where people aren't raising ice, like when they're poor, and like it's good face like fundies to run at ice that isn't res in order to make them spend money, which Stealth Lou doesn't really ask you to do, and the criminal deck we play may end up asking you to do. Did Minstrel post the latest normal size lily pad mags? I love lily pad mags. I do think it's good Netrunner. I do think it's good gameplay. I found it very tough to build and win with because no Ashen means I can't play forever, and I want to play forever. I don't know if that's published, if it is, or I could check recent. Maybe under I don't know where I would find it. I'd maybe look up Maggie. Card search. Magdalene. We deckless with this card. Sort by. Oh, I sort by date. I actually don't know how to do that. Yeah, by date. Search. Wenjong. What do you have here? Hermes Maggie? Come on. And then Echelon, Euler, three propellers, and a revolver. Yeah, okay. I'm slowly getting tilted over the stream and not using half of NIDB's functions. You will never get me to learn technology. I'm here to play cards. Okay? I'm pushing buttons here. My soul yearns to be playing cards. I don't even like sleeving them, but I have to. Wenjung, it doesn't look like I saw Minstrel's normal size lily pad mags, but if you can find it and I'll link it, I'll look at it. I've convinced myself Anacam Audrey's. There was that. Okay. People seem to really like the Anacam Audrey idea. It's not common for tournaments. Audrey's not a complicated card. Audrey's not a complicated card. That's true. Audrey games feel weird and different. Maybe people need to learn to play with it, but I'm not really sure if they do. You could just have an SMC overclock deck for the Shaper deck slot. I want a deck that is good. If it hasn't won anything, or like I don't expect to see it in tournaments, I don't think it's right for this video. As long as you remember which way around the counters work. Oh, right, like for strength and breaking? Yeah. One sec, I'm gonna get a beer. I need the lubrication. Oh no. I'm sorry. I forgot. All right. Oh god, for a second my brain started to grow back. There, that's if you know your prefrontal cortex fully develops, you're not gonna watch freaking card game streamers. This would be a disaster for the dull bulb economy. They printed 2 new consoles, and I have seen less diversity in consoles this meta than in the last one. People were actually playing Penny Shaver. Yeah, I have not seen Penny Shaver anywhere. That is very true. Madani also just has done nothing, scaring so many people and then doing absolutely nothing. Surely one day is Madani's day, but I'm not actually sure if that's true. Um, you don't play Shaper to win in 2026. You play it for kickflips and because green is best. No, 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 no. Shaper is fine. You are all bad. It's fine. You can play Shaper and win all your games if you want to. Like you just need to play cards. They're good cards, and you need to play cards that are actually good into what the opponents are doing. People are playing the same Shaper decks from before, have made no adaptation to the very weird meta that we're in, and are like, oh, I'm not winning, you know? You need to play cards that are good into exactly what you're expecting to see. And if you're not going to do that, you are going to lose. And it's going to feel like your faction is weak. The faction is not weak. The faction has so many good cards. There's so many good ideas. Maggie's text is crazy. Lat's text is fantastic. It's like if Muesli Hat was like 10 times better. You fail to account for the fact that I'm bad at Netrunner. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with being bad at Netrunner. Um, because it puts you into the demographic that can DM me on Discord for coaching. So it's actually a good thing. But yeah, like Shaper is not that bad. There are probably much better Shaper decks than we have been seeing. If you play this Ari list and you play it every day, 8 hours a day before your next Mega City, you will make the top cut. Is that a reasonable ask? Yes. We're not here to fuck around. Um, look for Minstrel's Showdown Lilypad Maggie. Showdown Maggie. Okay. I had Maggie search up just before. This one? Just the good cards. 6-0. Wow, these are some good cards. Perpetual Spike's been kind of weird because it's like not quite doing exactly what I wanted to do, but it is, you need something, and there's actually not that much of a better answer. Just play Shaper 8 hours a day to become decent at Shaper. Got it. Yeah. Yeah. No, not just Shaper. Play exactly this list. Don't change a card. Don't get cute with it. Just grind this, become insanely good at exactly this, and you'll be like Chunky Seal. You'll win. You'll win. Not against me, because I wasn't at this one, but you probably don't have to play against me. One-offs and tutors. It's fine. You've got 3 SMCs. You're allowed to do this. I can't speak for Seal, but I don't think the Hermes deck is his main. No, I distinctly remember him being on Lilypad in every other version I've seen. So this must be quite a different thing to what he was doing before. And he is my point of reference for good Arasanas, because he is apparently the only one who can play this beautiful lady. This one, for instance, yeah, lily pads. Everything else good. We've got the fermenter. This one's probably easier, and maybe this is what we recommend. 3 fermenter would make the Maggie list a bit easier. So, yeah, this is a good option. Let's have a look back at this just the good cards Maggie list, because this is a very good idea too. Whiteblade plays Ari? Yes. True. Okay. 2 deep dives. Got okay. This actually interacts with every part of the game that I think is. There's 69 cards in this deck. I only just noticed that. That's a lot. The Gentlemanly 48 versus the Chad 69. Is this 70 card shaper piles, 69 cards in an illumination? Yeah, the right number of illuminations. Illuminations are a broken card, so you should put one of them into your 69 card shaper pile. Yeah. That's good. I like the discussion of like the nuances of like the one cards. Like, cut the slap vandal maybe. Like, brother, that's the 68th to 69th card. It doesn't fucking matter. That's funny. Deep dive is only fun if it's out of blue decks. No, I think it's pretty fair. I think it's just you can just put it into regular lists like this. Okay, now if I say that this is what people are playing, will people call me a liar? Because it's just not. People aren't playing this. SMC is an abomination. We've got to play somehow, man. We've got to develop our breakers somehow. You want us some mutual favor for them? Like, I don't know if I want to do that. It has all the cards people are playing. It does have a lot of cards that you should know about. It's got fermenters. It's got a hush. That's going to be nice. It's got a palangi, so people can interact early in the game. What is the cut for 20 bucks? SMC is the second most shaper card after Simulchip. Yeah, it is. And I like both of them a lot. I think they're both like pretty much exactly what they need to be. In terms of pure numbers, Ari is probably the only shaper that sees more than one player. Yeah. I think new players like Ari. I've had a couple of people come to me for coaching and say, like, Ari is my runner of choice. I built this Ari deck. And it's like, well, that's awesome. Here's a better Ari deck, play this. And usually I just give them Chunky Seal stuff. So expect a wave of new players playing Arasana, like specifically Chunky Seal's Arasana decks, because it's what I recommend, and people like it. I usually go to a tournament and expect lat. Yeah, the thing is, you don't have to expect lat, because lat is just normal cards. Like if you don't really need to take for lat. I guess unless you have a kill list, sometimes. Simulchip is one of my favorite cards in the entire game. Yeah, it's just delightful to exist and to draw and to play. So good. Shaper players enjoy Terraforming Mars. I'm not a big Terraforming Mars guy, but also haven't played it enough to have a super informed opinion. I played it one time. We don't speak of that game as Terraforming Mars as AI art? I thought the art was just ugly. It's a pretty old game. I was surprised that SNC wasn't a system core card. It is shaped to me. Yeah. Where is SMC from? I'm bad with all like where every card is from, because I only started playing like somewhat recently, so I didn't see all these things come out, and I wasn't part of these discussions. This is from Uprising, Creation and Control. So Creation and Control is the rotated version. Uprising is Ashes. Okay. Yeah, SMC won't rotate out. It'll get a functional reprint. Yeah, I can only imagine that being the case. If Byte gets a is like if Snare gets a functional reprint, SMC is certainly getting exactly the same card with no changes. Like there's no reason to. Muse is kind of modernized SMC, but it's different enough. And I would be annoyed if Muse is left as the oh, you don't need SMC, you can Muse. But that's way in the future. I don't like discussing rotation now because it is so far in the future that who knows? It may never happen, right? Well, by the time rotation happens for the cards that we have, the game will be unrecognizable. So don't think about it too much. It's quite a while for them to figure out how to print. It took quite a while to figure out how to print good shaper cards. Did it? Ashen shaper cards are not that bad, are they? You don't need SMC. I think that's like somewhat true. Sets, I guess I go to if I want to make a point about Ashes. Let's have a look at this. Okay, In the Groove, pretty bad. Chishuk, pretty bad. Spec Work, fine. Harmony, pretty bad. Really bad. Goated. Oh, you're talking FFG. I mean, you could easily look at some of these and think that, like, you know, maybe NSG didn't took a while also, but yeah, the ID in the like core set or the like base box, like starter set, was the first hardware or program you install each turn cost one less, and that was pretty good in the core set. But yeah. Shaper has been good all NSG era. Yeah, it's got a lot of good cards. All the factions have been basically playable all the time, if we're being real. Kate is amazing, but the cards sucked ass. I can't really remember what I was playing, but the I remember liking the ID takes because it was kind of the only one that did anything. People now say that like, oh no, Noise is really good. Noise was not really good in the set of cards that existed back then. They were like 3 viruses, and you didn't want to play any of them. Well, that's not true, but okay, maybe we just say like, oh, you want an introduction to Shaper? Here's 60 card Magdalene. Have fun. It's got one Viarcation and one Illumination in it. It's got one Overclock. Why not Ratlat for Shaper? It's a very good suggestion. There is no reason for me to not pick Ratlat other than I have a weird voice in my soul telling me that that's not a good idea. But you're actually pretty much right. It should probably be something similar to Ratlat or just Ratlat. There's no reason why not. Is Lucy still here? She's probably got a link to the latest version of Ratlat that's actually recommended. Wants to teach good fundies. Picks the most boring, like slowest thing. No, picks a 69 card Magdalene. Like this is not bad fundies because every turn is going to be like informed, strategic. You just play Netrunner, right? Like you get more cards because there's no Ashen. You said you didn't want too much of one faction didn't bleeding into another. I did not say that, but I do agree with that sentiment, and that is basically what I've been looking for. Ratlat feels more like the Lou deck, and I feel like you might go between those two factions and think these don't feel that different. The WinCon and Econ package is the same. So there's no reason. That's a good reason not to pick Ratlat. Thank you, Mahir, for articulating better than the voice in my soul. That letter is too similar to the vague Lou list to the stealth Lou list that we picked. It has the same vibes. 69 cards in and of itself is bad fundies, regardless of whether it works for this specific deck. Yeah. It plays 3 chip and 3 SMC. Also true. So like it's playing good Shaper cards. It is a good introduction to Shaper. Okay, here's an actual question. Would you guys play this? Booting up a little JNat. Having a little bit of fun. I've got some time. Play a quick card game. Would you guys play this? Never. Hell no. Okay, so why are we I absolutely hate this. No way. I'm probably never touching Shaper, but if I must, I'd probably never play this over the Audrey Lats. Damn. Okay, so everyone's like, yeah, this is great. I would never play this. I'm a Shaper player, but I would not do this. This is good Netrunner. I think this would be fun. But I think the point that I'm making is that you guys don't like it. Some delightful Asahi. Japanese beer for the Japanese dull bulb reveal. No, actually, the best Japanese beer is Orion. This is from Osaka, I believe. And you can't really find it very easily in the UK. But if you see it, just buy it. It's the nuts. It's like Asahi, but slightly better. And that's very high praise because Asahi is already really good. But it was like, $0 from vending machines in Japan when I was 18 and too young to drink there. I don't like Shakeeper. This deck is good chat. This deck is good chat is just being curmudgeonly. I'll fight for Minstrel. I've got some vile concoctions here. I misheard that as Dasani and I was about to cancel Strimmer. No, I don't drink bottled waters. My immune system's too strong for that. I drink tap water. Voted Hitachio? I'm not sure if I've had Hitachio, although if I Google it, I'm sure it will remind me that I did in fact drink that because I drink a number of beers in Japan. Oh, I'm not sure I recognize this. Yeah, I don't recognize this, sorry. I've never had any of these. Huh. Sleepers Everyone, I mean, Mahia specifically is extremely set on this Anacam lat idea. Thinner margins, but I'm not married to the deck limit. I want to give people an honest representation of what people are playing. The issue is basically no one is playing Shaper, and it's because they're all like just set on playing whatever the most popular thing is at the moment. And I think people should be playing Arasama, probably. Maybe I just take a soul read and say that the best representation of Shaper in the meta is Arasana, because by the time the video comes out, people will realize that's the most useful Shaper to be playing right now because it's good against the best 2 decks. Is that crazy? Can I get a link to the Anacam list? If anyone wants to link lists, you can, I think, send links on YouTube. I don't know if, yeah. Can I like enable that? Not that I have any idea at all on how to do that, but you can I might be able to post links. So if you DM me on Discord the link, I can just put it into chat for other people. And I would have no qualms with doing so. I play Shame almost exclusively, but my own stupid version that no one should play. Yeah. So there's a couple of shapers that exist that like no one. Like I have a shaper that I think is very good, which is the the Rat Hiram. No, it's the good Padma, the VP Padma. This is fine. I wouldn't recommend it for new players. It's way too difficult. Like not difficult because any part of it is too difficult to understand, but to a much greater degree than everything else we've discussed today, it's like this strategy on how to win with this requires an extremely good understanding of the corpse board state, of win conditions, of control, Netrunner, memorizing lists of cards, threat evaluation, all that stuff. It's too precise. Even though it looks like a new player friendly deck. Oh, new chatter. I've never seen this person. Yisan Nageiku. Hello. Somehow I find the Ashen Band's effect on Shaper very interesting. It seems we take for granted that Shaper will run out of gas and will need a reset button, but I also think that deck building requires us to solve a core puzzle with limited resources in the first place. Yes. Basically agree. So the Ashen Band is... I could do a whole stream on just the Ashen Band and like what Ashen is and like the philosophy of it. I think people are like scandalized by the existence of Ashen and also on the other hand like rely on the Ashen. Corps are not allowed to do what Ashen does. So when you're playing against Ashen, it feels like I'm looking at something that like I'm not even close to being allowed to do. Wait, you went through your whole deck and you went through it again? I'm just not allowed to do that as the corp. So it feels almost scandalous. And sometimes our deck is gas, and you get all your gas back with just one card. Well, yes, you do. But what it actually did for you is you spent 2 influence and 5 credits to have a deck that is twice as, like, 50% bigger, say, but doesn't sacrifice consistency. So you're sacrificing that set cost for the variability of consistency. And inconsistent decks are not really more fun than consistent decks. To an extent. You don't want decks to be too consistent, but you also don't want decks to be, massively variable. It's not fun to have massively variable decks. So what Ashen does was it allowed you to keep your good deck size, but still have this larger amount of value. And Shaper really liked that because Shaper does just eat its resources, like knick-knack decks, draw tons. Its runs are not as efficient actually as some other decks. Like an Anarch run might just cost like a bunch of hosted credits and then it could see 3 with the twinning, right? Shaper doesn't get to do that so much. Its runs often are expensive and their tools can be situational, but if it can eat enough resources, that could be fine. Because it has like engine efficiency. It can draw lots and generate lots to do this. I don't think any shaper ever needed Ashen. I ran Ashen in my World's Maggie list. I won. I think I went 6-1 with it. It was a Maggie list, and it was just control Maggie. I won almost everything. Corps used to be able to do that, and they in the Museum of History days, and it was not healthy for the game. Yeah, like it is not something they should do. This is an asymmetric game. We need to think about things differently. But I know as the Corp, as I'm running low on cards and my agenda density is getting all messed up, I've seen the runner run out of cards and play Ashen and been like, that's nonsense. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to do that. But like, my deck was bigger than theirs when we started also. The Pinnacle number 4, hello. How you doing? Outside of Mega Magic. Mega Magic was a unique case and doesn't warrant discussion. Mega Magic was a cook. I can definitely see that issue, especially with Seb, who used to have Ashen as a safe check. He can burn through their entire deck. Yeah. So there's a couple of cards that allow you to not pay the price on playing the price, right? Or playing cards like the price that trash for an effect. And of them, Buffer Drive and Ashen are similar offenders, and it's not clear to me exactly why Ashen was removed, like banned rather than Buffer Drive, because the offending decks were so good because they ran both, and that was messed up. That they could run both and always have the Ashen when they needed it. If they just banned Buffer Drive, all of a sudden this whole situation looks quite different. Which I'm not saying that Buffer Drive should have been banned and that would just fix everything, every problem that we have. But I do miss the effect that Ashen had, and currently I'm running Harmonies in decks, and I hate it. And runner win rates are screaming for an upgrade. Although I think that's partially player base. Obviously, it's always partially player base, but whatever. Ashen is more problematic because of how Price, Moshing, Largo, etc. Well, like, do you even play the Price in Ashen decks without Buffer Drive, though? Think about that. Probably not. Buffer Drive doesn't stem nearly as much. Ashen does. Eh. Like, it doesn't, like, Ashen does more. But the cards that you want to be playing in, like, the extremely powerful Ashen decks that rely on Ashen most of all, you might want to consider not running if you got no way to recur that Ashen. Or if you have to run, even if you have to run Katorgas to get the Ashen back, you reconsider a few things. Glad it's gone. It stopped Grinder decks from being a failsafe. Oh, boy, do I have bad news for you. I think that Grinder decks got better with Ashen gone because now there's no reset. I played 54 card Melius with 3 bites. Because I felt that games were allowed to go on longer because like the runner would just run out of value before I stopped playing. It was my idea. And yeah, that worked. I beat good players just because they simply ran out of cards and died. Those decks are healthy. You like that. I'm not sure I agree. Like a type of grinder being viable, sure. You know, it's gonna feel bad when you play against it, but like diversity is just good, and it means that every time you play against a deck that isn't grinder, or you find out that the matchup isn't grinder, you can feel a little bit happy. But it being good, I don't know. Mejia says I don't think the best grinder deck should be the best Glacier deck, and I think like 3 bite Meleus is, and they're even like not yet. He's even on like anemones too. Anemones, I think 2 anemones and 3 bites, or 3 anemones and 3 bites, and it's like, really? I don't mind those decks. That's good mental fortitude, and you'll go far. But I think a lot of people do mind them, and I do think that the fact that 3 bites is the default starting, like the first 3 cards you put into Melius these days, is actually not good. And it's one of the only actual problems I have with the meta. I actually really like the meta as much as I'm like discussing it academically here. At least I saw people talking in the NRO chat, so I assumed something was going on. Maybe I should have streamed it actually. You can tell me to stream NRO, I will do it. What did you miss? You missed more nonsense. I don't know if you were here for the board game talk. That's, you might, I need to go back into the VOD for that because that's going to be one of one. I'm now sunk. I'm through 1 beer and I enjoyed it a lot. I don't think I'm going to crack the second one though. Love bite. We've got chat is defending Glacier in the form of 3 bite Melius and saying that the Ashen ban was good because now we get to do this. I'm of the opinion that I don't mind Grinder existing. I think it should be a pretty niche thing, and it should be kind of a surprise when you run into it. And I don't like that the first 3 cards you put into Melius are bite. With regard to the actual content of the stream that is filling out what I'm going to put into my like decks you should play video, we've gotten astonishingly not far at all. We've got a Melee SU, Nuvam, PD for the corpse, which is actually all the corp factions, I should say. There were more corps than this because there were different IDs within those factions. And then we've done Anarch, which I've just self-selected the poop deck. Melee's fine, Grinder is cringe. True. Melee's is awesome. It's just a shame that like Bite plus Melee's is actually does create negative experiences, and I've been on both sides. Melee's creates amazing games, fantastic games. But if the first three cards you access a Bite, those games don't feel fantastic anymore. Can I suggest? Yes, people have been suggesting the world's most boring lat list, but I think that it is too viscerally similar to Stealth Loo, which also has loads of long-term recurring credits and boring breakers. So I'm not going to do that. In local play, I must stop myself, splash bite in random decks just for fun. You don't have to. You can have fun however you please. But yeah, I mean, like, play properly. It's fun to play Netrunner, and if you're trying to like win on turn one because you want to just bite them when they don't expect it, like an HP, it will be funny that it happened, but like sometimes that's enough. But like if you do it the next week as well, it's not going to be funny the second time. It's just going to be like, oh, okay, whatever. Do you want to reshuffle and play again? Another lat for everyone wants me to just pick the most boring lat list that A, people are not playing that much of. Like it's not widely played. And B is very similar to the Loo list, and there's no need to do that. There's lots of diversity in runner. I maintain that it should probably be Avasana, and it should probably be Chonky Seal's like kind of slightly easier lily pad fermenter Avasana. Bite PD has won tournaments. I don't even know if that's true. Sleepers. So I think Sleepers list was like. Okay, we're gonna find card search lat. Yeah. Deck list with this card. Sort by. I guess we'll leave it as popularity for now. This one is good, but I think it's old and probably not up to date. Question mark? No, this one's fine, right? So I like this list. This list is fun. I'm not sure if it's like good Netrunner or like going to teach the messages that I particularly wanted. Mihia says is DM'd me. This one. Thank you. That's teleported me to a place I don't want to be. Let me see if I can copy and paste the hyperlink where I actually am. Yeah, I keep two different like versions of my desktop for streaming and not streaming, so I don't accidentally show things I don't want to show. But sometimes Windows is like, oh, you've got that tab open somewhere else. Let me move you all the way over here. But no, I don't want you to do that. But I don't know how to turn it off, and I will not. Cool, got it here. Anacam Lat by Sleeper. 0 comments. It's got to get some engagement up, hey? A Bravado for 3 imp? It's a good card. 3 imp? We really just throwing it around, hey? Doing nothing with it? 3 pinholes, okay. Oh, this is just Anacam Lat. This is like... oh, I'm playing just breakers and events, and that's how I'm winning? What's the multi-access? We've got one deep dive, one compilation, one burner. I mean, these are all cards that win games. How are we getting click? We're getting the click with the one Hannah, of course. Is this what people are playing? Yeah, you can harmony the multi-access back. But like, is this what people are playing? Does this beat like even play into combo PD, or do you just concede out the gate? I guess you have one burner, maybe you draw it. Or one cut, maybe you hit. This is very normal shaper. This is normal shaper, which is good. We want like a normal deck. I don't know that I could recommend this with like confidence though. I'm not sure this is that good. This looks fine, but like not great. Does Sleeper win anything with this? Is there any reason for me to think that this deck is good? It looks very mid to me. At a complete glance, I haven't even read all the cards in it, but it looks mid. I think it's really the Vatlat will be even better than this. I guess I said the reason I don't want that Vatlat. Have any similar decks won things recently? It's the most mayo white bread. Yeah, I mean it's boring, but like, is it good? If it's boring and bad, it's not going on the list. It's basically the same list you took to Worlds. How far did Sleeper get in Worlds? And then is the Worlds list published? 123 published deck lists. Holy. There's a showdown list from May. This one was with running jailbreaks. It might be good for new players to learn the basics. Yes, I mean it certainly is. Like, this is just a Netrunner deck that you can play and you'll learn the basics. The specific goal of the video is to like play Netrunner decks that I endorse as being good enough to bring to any level of play. Like, if you just practice this deck and get good at it, you could top cut your locals and also be good to learn with, and also give you a good idea of what people are actually playing at mega cities or districts. Jailbreak is fine, yeah. So that like just by playing this pool of decks, you have a good understanding of standard, and that you can move from startup to standard, or you can just like, I'm not really sure what I'm doing in standard. I'm gonna grab one of Bob's endorsed deck lists. You can top cut with this. Yeah, you could probably top cut with this. That's just a fact. That's just a good point. You could top cut with this. It doesn't really have a feeling of what it's doing, but maybe that's asking too much. He's so dead inside to look at it. Okay. Luke's Tau list from Reading? No, no one's playing Tau. I do want decks that are played enough to be representative of the meta. I don't want like fringe, here's some weird lists I found. The Tau list was very vague. That's true. And it would teach you good Netrunner, that's true. But like, it's not actually what people are playing. And if you play it, you'll probably lose, because I actually don't think it's that good. Hobie style is philosophically a thing people should be playing. Why? I don't really think so. Like don't know what you want. I gave you the two most shaper decks that are good. Yeah, okay, you've done a good job. You've presented me with some great options here. I'm just trying to battle the fight within me that thinks I should pick Chunky Seal's Avasana list. That's what you guys need to convince me not to do. Convince me why this is better as a pick than Chunky Seal's Avasanas. You've done a great job with the recommendation. This is your last job. Okay, the thing is, if you only want decks people are playing and aren't just boring companions, you already have the one deck in that set. The only thing you want is if you want decks that people are playing that aren't just boring companions, you already have the one deck in that set. Uh, well, like I've if you're trying to optimize for several different criteria simultaneously, you might not be able to, like, yeah, you might be able to do a pretty good job in general, but you'll lose on something. Yeah, that's true, of course. Sears Arasana is only piloted by like 4 people. Well, I don't know where the Arasana is popular sentiment. The Arasana's popular sentiment is in my head because I think people should be playing more Arasana because I think it's a good meta core. You could check that out because Arasana will not be popular. Uh, I always forget how to actually get to the Maker's Eye because like it just doesn't come up. Is this a .com? No, there's a hyphen in there. Meta analysis. I barely use this website, so you guys will have to stick with me. Also, it's immediately moved me to a place I don't want to be again. It's because Chrome is my default browser and I open things in Chrome. But I use Firefox for streaming for a few different reasons. Holy. You guys are getting cooked out there, huh? Yeah, looks right. That's beautiful. Can I say something? That's about a third. 36%? That's a third. Hold on, let me. If we add together the 14. Get out of here. What are you this for? Got 14 over here, plus 3, plus 2, 1, 1. That's a third. And that's another third of green right there. That's all the corp factions. This is the balanced meta. Everything is totally fine. What's up here? The Hyobu, of course. Why'd I even ask? Alco 63. Holy. Yeah, 1/3. Of course, 1/3 of all get. That's 1/3 of the core factions. I think PD is closer to a quarter. We're talking all of HB though. You got to include these, even though like yeah, we shouldn't be playing these. I mean, Leo's got to be better than this. Like Leo is better than Banggood by a lot, surely. Um. Oh yeah, I suppose I could have looked at the runners too. Boom, boom. Submit your apology letter to Dolbob at your leisure. That's 10% of the data that we have. Well, people just jamming out on it. More than Lat, more than Maggie, more than anyone else. 8 Pubma players. Bangun isn't so bad. Yeah, I mean, Bangun's not so bad. Leo's perfectly fine. You know what? Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. 50% of those games are still going to every event. He's a trooper for that. He does actually go to everything, which is awesome. This matches with random JNet vibes. People like Arasana. Like, this is not just an enthusiast identity, even though obviously the enthusiasts do really well. There can't be this much Essa. Am I losing my mind? There's this much Essa? There's as much. S is the third most played ID? Is that True. 70 people are out here just jamming ESO in the year of our Lord 2026, July. Motion Blur goes to half the events outside the UK. I swear to God, I was watching a US district and he was just there. I also I think I have two streamed games against Motion Blur in my last two tournaments as well. And my last two tournaments that have streams. S is just so spammed, which S is powerful. Okay. I have not been playing Essa like this. Are these bottom table S's? S's not that bad, so I don't know why it would be, but I have not faced a single Essa in ages. I think I faced one in the last like 3 tournaments. Lucy just sent me a picture of the a VOD of a UK tournament and Motion Blur. Yeah, Motion Blur's just there. Boy's just omniscient, omnipresent. Calgary Megacities S was the only runner I saw more than once. No ESSA tops showdowns consistently. That's in Montreal. He was just there. That's sick. Oh my God. Motion Blur of being clipped by Mega Magic on stream fame. If you didn't know, amongst other things, including being a very dedicated and good player. Okay, so I've made my point. Awasana is the answer. Chunky Seal is the GOAT. You're right that like of these 64 players, I wonder if these are 64 unique players. That's why he's Motion Blur. He's moving everywhere so fast. Also, check this day we win rate. Holy. 21 games, 10, 11? Are we missing something? Wait. He's the Netrunner player equivalent of the one Electron theory. I think you can top consistently with Essa. I've heard combo PD players say that it's the hardest matchup. And I don't believe them. But hey. Daywee next up. You remember Seal changes username every event to a different Seal pun. So at least 10 of those are him. It's likely that we have one talented and delightful, but you know, very dedicated Arizona players juicing these numbers. But like, hey, who am I to argue with data? Hermes, Audrey, Seb, now it's Hermes. Audrey, Seb now, but Essa has decent game. Oh, okay. People are playing Hermes, Audrey, Seb to beat Combat PD. Yes, that would be tough. That would be tough. Essa has no auto lose matchups against anything relevant. True. I think the Alco matchup is actually pretty hard, but that's true. Like the modern measured Alcos, I find myself liking that matchup quite a lot. S's win rate is impossible to go down below 45. Yeah, you spawn in with like a 45% win rate just by picking the ID. And then whether you can battle for the remaining 7% equity is where all the players' different like skill comes in. I think Audrey Lou is harder. Okay. Like harder than the Audrey Shapers? Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Oh, then Essa? Yeah, I mean it's definitely harder than Essa. Essa's I think not a difficult ID or deck really. I don't know where you wouldn't believe the Essa versus combo matchup. The amount of built-in disruption is sure to throw a wrench in the smooth combo race. Yeah, it's definitely like going to be a hard matchup. It's just like there must be a way to build something that is more consistent, like that like actually disrupts you rather than like maybe disrupts you if you're not paying attention. And like Mahir says, Essa Can ESA trash things early? No, ESA has no trashing money early. ESA goes for ESA money is a very strange integer that you don't really need to look at because it's either zero or it's like 10 gazillion. Also, they can't make code gates and things like that. That's true. Joe, I've heard from strong tested groups that S has a 40% win rate versus combo PD in that group. 34 witches says Essa is not best versus combo. Audrey Lewis. Audrey Lewis the most like consistent versus combo PD. Yeah, I think the like tempo Essa decks that are not going all in on core damage, but are just doing that amongst other things, including like fast interaction, could be good. But like surely an Audrey Lewis just like crushingly good, right? Essa might struggle against Epiphany. Essa's going to struggle against. Well, struggle against Epiphany? Maybe. Wow. Epiphany does take a long time to score. Epiphany games go on just so long that you would be able to get as much core damage in as you want. And there's basically no punish for what you're doing. Like, there's no damage. They could maybe retribution your marrow, but you haven't another marrow. Like, that's the only thing I would need to think about with regard to like, oh, I'm going tag me now. Can I still lose? I don't know if you can. Sabo with their cute R&D setup order. Yeah, I mean, it would be useful. You can see 3 deep, which is the number that you need to see most of the time. What was I doing? I was making the case that everyone should just be playing Arasana and that this deck is good, and I stand by it, and I'm going to take it. And we're going to move on to the next faction, which is Criminal. Tell me what you think about Criminal, because I am very open to suggestion here. Mahir suggests his Aslop, self-plugging, or Muesli Hut. I would never recommend someone plays Muesli Hut. Cringe. Time out again. Epi knows when to Epiphany knows when to Sabo from hand. On the Essa discussion. Then it's not like a Vic deck, they're awful. They are kind of bad. Like, that's what I would want to pick as just like, hey, look, you can just run once a turn and get a click and a credit with daily cast. Sorry, DreamNet. I don't need to use this. I haven't listened to anything at all. I'm going to be speaking louder because I'm wearing them, which is not good for my voice. So, yeah, you're basically right. Vic with Fencer, like, yeah, you can run any number of companions. It doesn't save the fact that Vic sucks. There's... Who's done best with Baz? Has anyone made Baz work? I guess we've already included an hour silence, so there's no real need to pick Baz. Some diversity would be nice. Because Baz is theoretically fine. Ninth at Worlds? Holy. First at New Jersey Districts. This was Sanjay who made the Hugo Cabaret Unleashed Malleus deck list. Anyone else coping? Sable returns in 2 weeks. Oh yeah, there's like a ban list update happening at some point. I think Sable with Deep Dive would be extremely strong. I think it would actually be like kind of balanced though, maybe. I don't know. Not certain. I would like it, I think. But it would mean that my Plutus Alco deck would become unplayable, which is not good. Dive Sable can't be allowed. That deck is a menace. Yeah, we got train now, so HB players can be further rewarded just by nature of being an HB fan is always a good time now that we have these agendas, and we got to let them dream. So I think we've kind of alleviated that problem a little bit. We also have Event Horizon, which is something, but that's really tough. 3x maintenance access looks sus. Oh, this is for this deck list? Yeah, I haven't actually reviewed it. 3 Underdome is definitely not right. I think people have decided that this is like too cute, which is what my worry was for the card. Experimenting, but not like. I think it's probably too cute. Maybe maybe Bez people just like have figured out something. Then we're doing obviously boomerangs. I like Poison Vial. I actually think Poison Vial is really not that bad at all. Phycerums? Ugh. Phycerums, huh? One Carmen, one Kurapira, one Shibboleth, and this is how we break. Underdome is not good even in bears. That's the worry, right? Like, are we really spending 1 to draw 2? This is not great. I don't think this is what I would show to someone and say, hey, here you are, now you know what criminal does. I think what I would show to them is like, actually no, open that back up. No, open the one that I just closed, which I don't know how to do in Firefox. Reload, select, reopen, close tab. There you are. Yosenrin is the only Bears player, but he doesn't play in tournaments for obvious reasons. I don't think it's obvious. I think NSG people should be allowed to play in tournaments. I saw a lot of lists from Alpi, but I didn't like to look at the list, and I don't think it's really representative of criminalizer idea. Like, it's cool, but it probably shouldn't be Bears, really. Holy, no one's playing Bears. People are playing Muesli Hat overwhelmingly. So actually, it does have to be a Muesli Hat deck. I don't like Muesli Hat. Has Alpi done anything since VP drop? He's played a lot of Bears, is all I've seen. I've already made a video called John Netrunner, which is about like, here's how to play Reg Vic. Just pick the blue sludge. Blech. Fine. You're right. Okay. You're right. But this list was not so bad. Like, it can't be so bad. It has Twitting, Paladin, Mystic. How could it be bad? Muesli is overplayed too. It's probably not. It's probably the best criminal, and criminal is probably like about played the right amount. So I think that is proportional. Yeah, Mahiro agrees. Didn't that Kruvik have a moment? Not in my mind. I think that list is terrible. I think it's way too cute. And if that's winning, you should be doing it somewhere else, or in some other way. Like, if we need ice destruction that badly, just do that. And if ice strength is so good, so high that we need to spend a 2 install to be able to have the luxury of a click and a credit to lower it by 2, nope. I don't like all this versus all the asset decks though without Fencer. I've played that list. It's so slow it only beats Meleus. Beating Meleus is a good reason to play a deck, but yeah, I mean, I don't think that's the thing is real. What was I doing? I was searching Muesli Hat. Nefarious Marketeer. I think the flavor on the criminal IDs need to take an upswing because I think this is not doing it for me. Bears was kind of a hit, but I think the cards associated with them were so bad that I don't really get much of his story through them. Because I don't see him. Jai's done one. I trust Jai. I trust Ice Cream College. I have no expectations that either of these will have anything interesting. Teteric is a good one. Jai isn't a crim player. Okay, Jai, you've been ousted by chat as a fake crim player. So this extremely normal criminal list that you've built, which runs almost no interesting cards, is not doing it for him. But this almost identical list, poor. This is the nuts. Yeah, this is just normal gameplay. Okay. We don't have to spend too long on it. It's like, it's whatever. Yeah. Your ads deck is not that different. Yeah, there are only so many cards you can play in Criminal, and you just kind of play them all. Better Melius matchup, worse PD matchup. Sure, I believe that. Yeah, Criminal's in a sad state in a moment. Not because it's bad, it's fine. It's just boring and it doesn't do anything interesting. I hope we get like a sick Crim ID. I kind of miss Steve, to be honest. Anyway, we've achieved our goal of filling this out. We can play these another day before I make the YouTube video. Thank you, chat, for keeping me entertained and issuing such profound advice. What a delightful stream, and we went on no tangents. That was actually completely succinct and to the point. 3-hour stream, not too bad. Not too bad for a Wednesday night, hey? Votary is so close. Votary is not close. Votary could cost 1 and it would be still dog shit. There's 5 ways worse than it should be. Yeah, it's not close. The text is so bad. I wonder if you couldn't trash it, if it would be good. I think it probably would be. It would be very unfun. Just wait for Hermes ban. There's never going to be a Hermes ban. That'd be like a sure gamble ban. It can't. It's not going to happen. I sincerely doubt it will happen. Crim is not overperforming, and combo PD needs the more cards in the game that can help be good against combo PD, the better. I don't think the trash tax is anywhere near the biggest problem with that card. Well, the trash tax in theory matters because, like, it means you actually need to pay this cost. If Votu would cost 3 and just say whenever you breach R&D or archives, see an extra card. Yeah. Yeah, I'd play that. Hell yeah. That's amazing. And if you were a tag me deck and you were never intending on running resources or clearing tags, that's what it says, right? But even if you're doing tag me, Votary is not doing tag me, so it's still bad. In my honest opinion, runners aren't winning to warrant a ban right now. Yeah, I don't see any reason to ban any runner card. Unbanning runner cards would make a lot more sense. There's literally no runner cards that I would be interested in banning right now. They all need help. Every faction needs a little bit of help because they're losing. So even if you don't like a card, it's not getting banned. There's going to be no runner bans, I think. Maybe a runner unban could happen. There might be no bans at all, unless they are too concerned about combo PD, in which case my guess would be an RLC ban, red level clearance ban, but who knows? Who knows? Unrotate Amakura for 5 influence. Funny. They would never errata in that way. I wonder if there was ever like a holy moly, we need this exact card back in. Let's just unrotated? The answer is no, because people get into the game, and then telling them that they need another card would be stupid. But I mean, we need Doof back, right? We need Sports Metal back. Bite and Nano Management got printed. Yeah, they could reprint Armakura. That could happen, but we're still a long way from the next set, right? Another pinhole in 3 years. Yeah, the game would be very strange without pinhole. That's like one of the cards that's like the meta, like Netrunner as it is, as we think of it, just has pinhole in it, and that's a fact that almost must be the same because everything is balanced around pinhole existing. And if pinhole didn't exist, things would have to look different. Probably. I think that's probably true. Anyway, I am wrapping up. This has been a fantastic stream. Thank you all for your time. And I will see you in the next one, which could be at any time because there's no schedule. Bye-bye. Good night.